welcome. Jedi Bill 797, Colin P. Smith, V-Star. Thank you so much for joining me. Y'all are very, very wonderful to me, and I appreciate it. And the comments on the opening, give your props to Rambling Canuck, who created that opening for me. I just figured out how to put it on there last night, so I'm glad it worked out. And I know, Colin, I know that is not your national anthem. That is my national anthem. I spent 20 years of my life defending that national anthem, and I will continue to defend it to the day I die. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I actually have a couple of songs to sing that I hope that you all will join me in. Let's go ahead and get that sucker done. We'll do a couple of songs, and then I'll do my Bible study, and then I'll put the link in the chat, and everybody can come on up and ask questions or just talk and have fun today. So let's get her done. Let me go ahead and share my screen. We'll start with I Can Only Imagine, one of my very favorite songs ever. And we should not be taken down for this, so let's see what happens. I can only imagine what it will be like when I walk by your side. I can only imagine what my eyes will see when your face is before me. I can only imagine, yeah. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine when that day comes and I find myself standing in the sun. I can only imagine when all I will do is forever worship you. I can only imagine, yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine, yeah, I can only imagine. Surrounded by your glory, what will my heart feel? Will I dance for you, Jesus? Or in awe of you be still? Will I stand in your presence? Or to my knees will I fall? Will I sing hallelujah? Will I be able to speak at all? I can only imagine, yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Yeah, I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I could go on, but let's move on to another song, shall we? I like this one too a lot, so. What a friend we have in Jesus, all our sins and griefs to bear. What a privilege to carry everything to God in prayer. Oh, what a peace we often forfeit. Oh, what needless pain we bear. All because we do not carry everything to God in prayer. Have we trials and temptations? Is there trouble anywhere? We should never be discouraged. Take it to the Lord in prayer. Can we find a friend so faithful, who will all our sorrows bear? Jesus knows our every weakness. Take it to the Lord in prayer. All right, let's go ahead and get on with it. Let's get this Bible study out of the way so we can all get on and have a good time this morning. Thank you, Mark the Infinitely Tired, for showing up. I appreciate that. I really do. So what I have going on right now is a text message from somebody, which is weird. Stop sharing your screen. Okay. Oh, Jedi Bill, you're cracking me up. All right, no worries. No worries. We are there. Let me go ahead and pick up. Yeah, Mr. Captain Track, absolutely. We can talk later. No problem. Let me go ahead and start this Bible study properly. Let me pull up my notes here. All right. What I want to talk about now is the gap between the Old Testament and the New Testament. And I know that is a controversial subject, but I have facts and history on my side. And I have a little bit of I don't know. Like I said, I have facts and history on my side. So whether you like it or not, these are the facts. And so I'm going to go ahead and relate them to you now. We've got a gap of about 400 years between the Old Testament and the New Testament. And the reason I started with this is because, well, a lot of people start reading the Bible at Matthew, which is no problem. A lot of people start reading the Bible at Genesis as well. So it's not an issue either way. But you need to know the facts that go behind the book of Matthew just as much as you need to know the facts behind the beginning of Genesis. And I went over that a few weeks ago in a video that I posted, or in a morning blend that I went through. So here we go. There's a 400-year period between the minor prophet Malachi and the priest of the temple, Zechariah. Now, Malachi was the last of the minor prophets in the Old Testament. And what that means, you had major prophets who had very long books and minor prophets who had very short books. It's just the basic difference between the two types of prophets. It was not their prophecies that were major or minor. It was the length of their books. So Malachi was the last of the minor prophets, and Zechariah announced the birth of John the Baptist, who in turn announced the birth of Jesus. So you have that 400-year gap where a lot of people, you've got the Apocrypha, the apocryphal books that come in that period, and a lot of people do not take the Apocrypha as true biblical books. So you have to take that into consideration as well. But we get a lot of history out of that. While we are talking about the history of that 400-year period, we do need to talk about the Apocrypha a little bit. So I will be talking about that. What we start with, though, we're going to go ahead and start with world history. And we're going to start with the fight between the Persian Empire and the Egyptian Empire. And so you had Xerxes in 480 BC. Now, this is where the movie 300 comes in, because Xerxes is the king, the emperor, who tried to conquer Greece. He failed, obviously. It was not because of the Spartans at Thermopylae, but you could say that, they held him off long enough that the rest of the Grecian Empire could actually become, or the Grecian kingdoms could come together and become an empire. So Thermopylae was a very extremely important engagement between the Persians and the Greeks. But that is not the only one. Of course, you have Marathon, you have the ocean battles, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go into all of the history that goes into that. So that was at 480 BC. We move ahead to 333 BC. And you know who is in 333 BC? Yes, you are correct. It's Alexander. Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great. So in 333, he begins conquering the Middle Eastern territories, the Persian Empire, and all the way down through Egypt, et cetera, et cetera. He makes a stop off in 332 in Jerusalem, where he is actually shown a prophecy that foretells his experiences in the Middle East. So he spares Jerusalem, and for Alexander, that's rare. Normally, he burned the cities behind him and created the cities that he wanted, and he called them all, Alexandria or something similar to his own name. But he spared Jerusalem at that time. Now, he died in 323, I believe. So in 320, the Egyptians rose up. So it was the Ptolemy Empire versus the Seleucid Empire. And the Seleucid Empire became Syria. And Israel was a battleground for both of those empires. And so It was, if you think of a washboard, right? So the Syrian Empire was moving downward and the Ptolemy Empire was moving upward, and it just kept going back and forth as though it were a washboard. So if you just think of it that way, then you'll understand the battleground that Jerusalem was at the time of the Ptolemy Empire. Then you move on to 166 BC, and you have the Mattathias Empire in Israel. This is the Maccabean era. That's for those of you who don't know, the Maccabean Empire, the Maccabean Kingdom, I should say, in Jerusalem is where the Jewish people get Hanukkah from. There was a time where they were hidden in the temple and they only had enough oil to light their lamps for 3 days, and it lasted for 8. So they considered it a miracle, and that is the Maccabean era, where we get the Hanukkah holiday from. Now, about 100 years later, in 63 BC, Pompey conquered Jerusalem. And, Pompey and Caesar were friends, and then they were enemies, and then Caesar conquered Pompey. But before that, Pompey conquered Jerusalem. So you have that going on in there as well. Pompey actually installed Herod as the king of Israel, and Herod is the one who slew the last Maccabean king in 37 BC. In 31 BC, Caesar Augustus became emperor of Rome. In 4 BC, Jesus was born. And whew, that is a lot of information. But again, we're covering a 400-year period. I think it's pretty important. So we come into the New Testament era around this time. And so we have 3 sets of religious leaders in Jerusalem around the time that Jesus was born. And so it is something that must be mentioned and talked about. And so we will talk about the 3 types of religious leaders and 1 type of political leader. So you first have the Pharisees. The Pharisees are legalists. They are nationalists. They are people that believe that Israel should be restored to a kingdom through the line of David on the throne, and the temple should be rebuilt. Of course, the temple was started, the start of the rebuild of the temple was around 60 BC, and they never quite finished it. So in 70 AD, when it was torn down and burned to the ground, the temple was never actually finished. A lot of people don't know that either. We talk about the temple in Jerusalem, but we never actually talk about the architecture or whether it was finished or not. In this case, so it was about 100-year period, and no, it was never finished. So yay! But that's what the Pharisees believed. So they believed in every single law that came down through Moses. So if you go back and you read Deuteronomy, you get an idea of the legalistic type of person that the Pharisees were. And one of my very favorite evangelists is Paul, and Paul considered himself the Pharisee of Pharisees. So he knew every law, he knew every tit and tattle of the law, and he enforced it to the best of his ability until he was converted to Christianity as a follower of Jesus. The Sadducees is the next group of people, and these Sadducees are, well, let's just call them a mirror image of a lot of people in the United States today. They were rich folks that wanted to get rid of tradition and become more like the Greeks, like the Epicureans of the day. They wanted to be rich and they wanted to be affluent, but they didn't really care about the law or religious studies in any way whatsoever. And so that is your group of Sadducees. Then you had the scribes, and when the scribes were called in to Herod's throne room, Herod asked them, "Where is Jesus going to be born?" Well, the scribes knew to the letter where Jesus was going to be born, but they continued to quibble about, the letter of the law. And so that is, I think you can understand, they're constantly arguing back and forth between themselves, let alone the Pharisees and Sadducees when they're asked a direct question. The scribes are, well, you know what? You can call them lawyers. Whether they believe the law or not doesn't matter as much as how they wrote the law. And that is what the scribes are there. The fourth group of political fellers in the time that Jesus was born, the Herodians. Whew. Wow, we went through a whole lot in just a half an hour, but it's totally worth it. So you have Herod, who is the king. He was put on the throne by the Roman Empire and he was actually Greek. He wasn't even Jewish, but he was the king of Jerusalem during the period that Jesus walked the earth. So you have the Herodians, who are political opportunists. They didn't really care about the politics of the Roman Empire. They didn't really care about the law of Jerusalem. What they cared about was the power and prestige of being the kings of Jerusalem. Mind you, they were, Roman puppets, but at the same time, that a lot of political intrigue came through the Herodian Empire at that time. So that is the history of the 400-year gap between the Old Testament and the New Testament. And I've been talking myself hoarse for about 20 minutes now. And so I am going to go ahead and stick the StreamYard's link in there. You guys can come up and we can chit chat, and you can correct me on anything that you think I may be wrong on. Woo! I was, boy, I haven't preached it like that in a while, have I? I do like history. I like history, and of course, naturally, I love the Bible. So I think biblical history is absolutely very important when you get right down to it. It's something that all Christians need to know, and those of you who are not believers, you need to know this history as well. And the reason I say that is because it's not, you don't want to get bogged down in mistaken history, which tends to happen a lot in the cases of, religious texts mostly. And I speak specifically of the Bible. So a lot of people don't know that there's a lot of apocrypha in that 400-year gap. And I think that is something that is important and needs to be known before we actually get into the study of the text of the Bible, which is why I spent 20 minutes talking about it this morning. So next week we'll get into some more text of the Bible and actually enjoy ourselves rather than just you guys listening to me giving you a history lecture. Well, if no one wants to come on and no one wants to ask questions, I can end the stream at a half an hour. It's not a problem. I'm not offended in any way. So if you don't have any questions for me, and I hope you enjoyed the history lesson, next week we'll actually get into the text of the Bible. We'll go through the genealogy of Christ through the line of Mary, which is what the book of Matthew is made for. The book of Luke goes through the male genealogy of Jesus. So we'll get into that in a couple of months. But yeah, if you don't have any questions and you're happy with the stream, I will go ahead and end it now. We can go on someone else's stream and talk about pop culture, which tends to be a lot more fun for most people. So I accept that. And you know what, everybody? Thank you for showing up again. Mark the Infinitely Tired, V-Star, Jedi Bill, Captain Trek. Thank you all so much for joining me this morning. Colin P. Smith, I hope you enjoyed the history lesson, being a historian yourself. I imagine I didn't get too many facts wrong since I actually studied this week. So I am going to go ahead and end this stream, and anyone who wants to can go ahead and... Oh, I got Positive Candor in the backstage. Hey, Positive Candor, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope you didn't mind my history lesson too much.
I missed it.
Oh, well, that's all right. I was talking about the 400-year gap between the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Okay. Was that a big deal or something that I don't know about?
Well, no, it's not really a big deal. I mean, that's you have that 100-year period where you get Hanukkah from, and that's really the biggest thing. But you had a lot of back and forth between empires: Roman Empire, Greek Empire, Egyptian Empire, that all went on during that 400-year period. So I talked a little bit about all of that, the Persians and the Greeks and etc. So I spent some time on that. Okay, I spent a half hour on that.
Okay. Well,
There's a lot of history in 400 years, you know.
yeah, it would take 400 years to tell it all correctly.
It would, in fact, yes. All right, I see the chat now. Yes, Jedi Bill, I'll wait for you. No, so that's my Sunday morning thing. I figured, why not do a Bible study, abbreviated type of Bible study, and just have fun with it. So how are you doing this morning, Positive Candor? Are you doing 15 minutes of positivity every day still?
Just Monday through Friday.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't call it that anymore. I just do whatever I feel like doing, kind of now.
But you always start at the same time, too.
I changed the starting time, and I'm going to have to change it again soon.
Being on
Right now-
Insomniac Soup, I tend to sleep through all the morning streams.
Yeah, right now I got it in between Loki's and the Valkyrie
Oh, the
show.
Valkyrie. Okay.
In between those right now, but I'm going to have to change it to in the afternoon sometime pretty soon here.
Well, that wouldn't be bad. Well, it wouldn't be bad for me anyway. Considering I wake up in the afternoons most of the time these days.
So yeah, I'll probably be changing it to, I guess, 4:30 in the afternoon Eastern time pretty soon. Probably
Well, that would
around
still, well, depending on how late I stay up, that might actually still be early for me.
there.
And welcome, Jedi Bill. What's happening, brother?
Good morning. How is everybody?
Happy. Joy.
Yeah. Oh, hi, brother. Enjoyed your sermon.
Mostly a history lesson. I'll get into the sermons next week.
Well, it was very intuitive and informative, so thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jedi Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be as factual as possible when I talk about religious studies. I really don't want to be a emotional preacher. I want to be a factual teacher, if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are a lot of things really deep set in the Bible that a lot of people don't learn because, well, either they don't want to take the time or they're used to emotional preaching, and that's not my thing.
Yeah.
I've always been an extremely factual based person, and so when I get asked questions about the Bible or biblical studies or things like that, I try to be as factual as possible without going into the emotions of it.
Okay.
And so I'm unashamed of the way I teach, and I so I don't have as much of a following this week as I did last week, but once again, it's something I enjoy and I like to do, and I want to thank you again, Jedi Bill, for giving me this opportunity, this platform to express my views and my opinions.
Absolutely. It's pretty much here for everybody to all in Valhalla to just gather together and just say hello and just be friends, the idea behind the Morning Blend is to share it amongst content creators.
Yeah, I know.
And hopefully one day, and there was a good suggestion that we should make videos and put it out there on both of our channels for all of the rest of Valhalla to share it. As we all are content creators.
Yeah, rather than just doing live streams. I know I need to get back to doing videos, and I really need to, because I really want to get my memoirs out there, and I've only done 2 volumes so far. So it's been 3 months since I've made an actual video to upload. So yes, I need to get back to doing that. I'm fully aware.
I'm sorry I took up so much of your time.
Nah, it's fine.
Hashtag blame Bill.
And V-Star says, Mr. CCTV, did you know the era that I was talking about this morning was called the 400 Years of Silence? As a matter of fact, I did know that. Yes. I did not mention it, so thank you for bringing it up, V-Star. It's considered the 400 years of silence from God, because the end of the minor prophets to the beginning of John the Baptist, there was that 400-year period where God was no longer talking through the prophets. And so it is considered the 400 years of silence by Protestants. Again, there's a lot of apocrypha during that time. The book of the Maccabees is very important in the apocrypha. So yes, absolutely, I'm fully aware of that. I just didn't mention it this morning because the apocrypha, of course, is apocryphal. So I stuck with the facts that could be verified, and so I didn't mention the 400 years of silence, which is what most Protestant preachers talk about when they talk about the gap between the Old Testament and the New Testament. I mainly went with historical facts. The empires fighting one another over the territory in the Middle East.
Nice.
I mean, you could say now that he's been silent for 2,000 years if you want to, you know?
Yes, I agree with you 100%. Positive candor, you bring up a very good point, and it's really important that people understand the fulfillment of the gospel is what most of us Protestant fellers talk about when we talk about the last 2,000 years. Because Jesus came to earth, he died, and he rose again 3 days later. And so that is the fulfillment of the gospel. So my salvation, my eternal resting place is going to be in heaven. And that is according to my belief. So I am comfortable with being in a great deal of pain all the time, because I know that it is temporary. So it may last another 5 years, it may last another 10 years, and then I get to go home to my heavenly home. Do I pray for healing? Of course I do. I don't want to feel like this every day, all day. But I'm also fully aware that I can handle it, which a lot of people without the same faith-based religious morality that I have do not have that ability to look forward to a time, 10 years from now when you're not going to be in pain. I do. So I can handle what happens between now and then. But for 2,000 years, yes, you could say that God's been silent. Because there haven't really been, even Jesus warned of antichrists. So you've got people who are, predicting the future, who really don't have a faith basis for their predictions. Let me put it that way. So you wouldn't call them prophets in the biblical sense. You would call them, what is that called? They're not prophets. They are soothsayers or I hate it when my mind goes blank.
Basically false prophets, right?
Well, not necessarily false prophets. A lot of what Nostradamus said came true, or you could interpret what Nostradamus said as having come true. But it's not as clear cut as the biblical prophets, the major and minor prophets in the Old Testament. So the fact that Jesus fulfilled all of the prophetic verses from the Old Testament is, it's impossible unless he was actually the Son of God. So he got to take that into consideration as well. But the soothsayers of the last 2,000 years, the persons who try to predict the future, they're just not very good at it. And V-Star asks, but didn't Jesus ascend so the Holy Spirit could come down, the comforter and teacher? I wasn't going to talk about the Trinity, but if you would like me to, I will. I haven't. Okay, I don't want to talk about the Trinity right now, but I will give you this little tidbit. A lot of people talk about the Trinity, where it's God the Father, and then Jesus the Son, and then the Holy Spirit. A lot of people think of it as Father, Mother, and Son. That should not be the way you think of it. Although, if you need to, you can go ahead and think of it that way. But God the Father created the universe. God, in the form of Jesus, came down to redeem humanity after the fall of Adam in the garden. And then the Holy Spirit is a whole different story altogether. The Holy Spirit is the comforter and the teacher, and what indwells us when we become Christians, so that we can understand and be able to return the teachings of the Bible. So it is, it's kind of difficult to explain what the Holy Spirit is supposed to be. In the Old Testament, you see that the Holy Spirit, for instance, Samson, okay? So that Samson was indwelt with the Holy Spirit several times, and his strength grew to a ridiculous amount. And he was able to predict the future. He was able to, kill 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey and that kind of thing. So you see the power of the Holy Spirit in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, what you see mostly from the Holy Spirit is teaching and comforting for the Christians who went out and were spreading the gospel through the Roman Empire. And so the Christians were being killed on a regular basis, and the Holy Spirit comforted them. For instance, Stephen. Okay, before Paul was a apostle, he was a Pharisee, and he persecuted Christians. And so his name was Saul, and he held the cloaks of the other Jewish persons near the temple who stoned Stephen to death. But Stephen had a smile on his face when he died. And so that is the power of the Holy Spirit in the New Testament versus the power of the Holy Spirit in the Old Testament, where Samson killed 1,000 men. In the New Testament, Stephen died with a smile on his face. And so the Christians in the Roman Colosseum who were eaten by lions, I'm not saying they all died with smiles on their faces, but it's that's the difference between the Old Testament Holy Spirit and the New Testament Holy Spirit. If that makes sense to you guys, I'm not sure if it does.
Yeah.
Jedi Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, it sounds good. And good morning, Rosetta Allen.
Good morning, Rosetta. I'm glad you were able to join us this morning.
Yeah.
If you'd like to come on and talk religion, I can put the link in the chat if you want to. Wow, I took 15 minutes or 5 minutes to talk about that positive candor, just because you said God's been silent for 2,000 years. Ay, caramba.
What have you gotten yourself into?
Well, I try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. If that takes a while, it takes a while. I don't mind. I'll even look up facts if I have to.
Facts are good.
Nah, facts are boring. I spent 20 minutes putting out the... Oh, by the way, Jedi Bill, why did you say to stop sharing my screen?
Oh, because you still had on the previous song, that's all.
Oh, is that right? Oh, it didn't.
Yeah.
Up? Okay.
Yeah. It was stuck on You Can Only Imagine.
I like that song.
That is a very good song and a very good movie.
Well, thank you, V-Star. I like to think that my teachings help others to come to the glory of Jesus and God. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm that good of a teacher.
And we could do and now for something completely different. Oh.
And now for something completely different. I liked Lower Decks.
Still haven't seen it. Still haven't signed back up with CBS All Access.
Yeah, after the article on Polygon.com, I'm liking it less because the guy who's in charge of it doesn't like certain Star Trek things,
You know what? I haven't seen a second episode yet, and I did reserve judgment. I mean, I liked the first episode. I thought it was a very good Star Trek story for values of a Star Trek story. Mind you, I know a lot of people didn't like the crude humor and things like that. I really enjoyed watching the show. I watched it during Insomniac Soup, and I watched it later on that same day, and I enjoyed it both times. I will wait until further episodes come out. They may not be as good. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. So I get a lot of flack for that.
Hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and they should honor somebody's personal opinion.
Well, I would think so too.
Personal opinion is the one thing we have, and we can like the same things and not agree on certain points. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
It is what makes us us. What makes us unique. We all have our own likes and dislikes.
And Rosetta puts it succinctly. Yes, I said succinctly. It's one of the multiple syllable words I can still say. She says, I have no desire to check out Lower Decks. Not my animation style, humor style, or Trek style. But she's not into the bashing part of it either, which a lot of people are. And you know what? It's fine if you want to bash on Lower Decks. I just happen to like it. I thought it was funny. But, I still like Family Guy and American Dad and things like that. And the animation and comedy style are very similar to those. So a lot of people disagree with me that it was a decent Trek story, but I mean, you only had 20 minutes of actual storytelling in that particular episode. So, like I said, I'm reserving judgment. I'll wait for, episode 2 and 3 and 4, and I may get bored with the series very quickly. Who knows? Right now, it just happens to be a hot button topic.
Yeah. Is it still trending? Gosh.
I don't know. I don't look at stuff like that.
Well, on another note, on Netflix on the 28th of this month, you'll get to be able to view season 1 and season 2 Cobra Kai on Netflix. I'm still waiting to hear on when the 3rd season is going to drop.
Yeah, waiting to see when season 3 comes out. So you and I are still going to do reviews of season 3. So
absolutely, I hope we get to do that this year. But if it's in the following year, so be it.
And Rosetta says there are only few American cartoon shows that she likes. I don't blame her. As a matter of fact, my kids are waiting till the end of this month so we can watch the new Phineas and Ferb movie when it comes out. I'm actually looking forward to that. I love Phineas and Ferb.
I still haven't checked out one Phineas and Ferb.
Oh my goodness, you need to watch that show. I love Phineas and Ferb.
Happy
Dinosaur 8000, welcome and good morning and happy joy to you as well.
Yes, happy Chomp Chomp Day.
Happy Chomp Chomp Day. Absolutely brilliant.
You get a chomp through the rest of Sunday, and here we are, Monday. It's Monday again.
Once again, the link is in the chat. I generally hold these down to 1 hour, but if you guys have questions, I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. I know Jedi Bill just does a marathon stream whenever he can. Yesterday, Morning Blend went for what, 2.5 hours?
3 hours.
3 hours.
Then I finally had to say, hey, I really got to go make breakfast for Nina. I went and made breakfast for Nina.
I don't mind answering questions to the best of my ability, whether they be for pop culture or for religious studies. I'll answer any question you want to ask. Whether I answer it correctly or incorrectly, that's for history to decide.
Positive Candor, you have anything you want to add or talk about?
Regarding what?
Anything? Any news or?
I don't know. Let me see what's on the news.
Well, Rosetta says she's an old soul. She likes the styles that combine classical with modern. I'm assuming that she's
5.1 earthquake in North Carolina today.
Ooh, in North Carolina, really?
Yeah. See, where was it at?
I may have to call my uncle and see if he's all right.
If you know where High Point, North Carolina is, that's where it happened at. Or wait, 54 miles northwest of Winston-Salem. If you know where Winston-Salem is at, North Carolina.
I'm not super familiar with North Carolina. I just know that my uncle lives in Charlotte.
So it was felt basically as far away as Greensboro, Charlotte, stuff like that.
Now, mind you, my uncle was born and raised in Southern California, so earthquakes aren't new to him.
Yeah.
When I lived in California, and I only lived there 7 months, there was an earthquake there. It was a weird feeling, you know. But yeah, for North Carolina, it's a rare thing.
Yeah,
So
rare in North Carolina, no doubt.
1916, so it's basically been over 100 years. Well, I guess one this strong anyway has occurred, and the last one was 1916.
Yeah, there's always some little bits of earth movement.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time, everywhere. So, but yeah, something as strong as a 5.0, that would be rare, no, most definitely in the eastern states. So, wow, I may have to call my uncle today. See if he's all right.
Yeah, you should do that.
I'm trying to see what other.
I'm assuming that Rosetta loves Meatloaf for his operatic style of rock and roll.
Oh yeah, oh my god! But I mean, talk about an artist who basically did one album, and that was an awesome album. And then, of course, he made another one many, many, many years later. But talk about an artist who basically lived off of one album for a long, long, long time, and that album is considered probably one of the best albums ever. Bat Out of Hell.
Mark the Infinitely Tired.
Mark the Infinitely Tired. He said that was me. I was trying out my new laser boater.
Nice. Good one, Mark.
But yeah, I love Meatloaf's songs from Bat Out of Hell. There's no doubt about that. And he was in, obviously, the Rocky Horror Picture Show as well. um, and a few other things besides that. But yeah, he did. He never. He's only, I think, made maybe just the two albums, the Bat
I
Out of
think it
Hell,
was just the 2 albums.
Bat Out of Hell 2, basically. But yeah, for him that's good enough. And some artists, yeah, that's all you get a chance to make, but that's all he wanted to make. It's kind of like Lauryn Hill, how she just made one album and that was it, basically. Besides her stuff with the Fugees,
Rosetta says Dark Sarah and Avantasia have some of the best metal operas. I owned an album by Charlotte Church for a long time, and I may actually still have it in my CD collection. I'm not positive about that. But Charlotte Church did a lot of operatic pop style operatic songs, and I really enjoyed those a lot. But every time I think of operatic rock, I think of Meatloaf, Bat Out of Hell.
You can't not think about it when it comes to operatic rock.
Mark, you need to put your laser away so you don't put you don't make them earthquakes no more. All right.
No more laser for you.
Holy cow. I've never even heard of Camelot. I may have to look that up later on. Egads. I am so pop culture ignorant. There's too much pop culture. There's too much today.
I've only heard that what you just said, EGATs in the Music Man. The only place I've ever heard that phrase.
Man, I've been saying egads my entire life.
But now we know where you got it from. The Music Man.
The Music Man, sure. I didn't get it from my mom. She may have gotten it from the Music Man.
You could probably do a whole karaoke stream on several musicals.
76 trombones in the big parade.
Yeah.
110 cornets just behind.
And you're talking about the original, I hope, not the Matthew Broderick remake, right?
Yes, of course I'm talking about the
seriously.
original.
The only one. The only true one.
Thank God, because, yeah, that other one was a hot mess.
Ugh.
I've only seen the original. I never did
Holy
see it.
cow.
What?
Pflugerville has joined us. Hello, Pflugerville.
Good morning.
Because, yeah, that is probably worse than watching Twilight, the second.
We have to go there. Oh my God.
We're not doing sparkly vampires again, I can tell you that.
You know, T stands for trouble. Rhymes with P, and P stands for pool.
Yeah, watching Matthew Broderick sing those songs instead of who was the guy in the first one?
Robert Preston.
Robert
Preston. Yeah, who's in The Last Starfighter as well.
Yeah, his daughter just died.
Wow, really? Holy
yeah,
cow.
Kelly Preston was Travis. Oh,
yeah, Travolta's wife.
yeah, Travolta's wife.
Yeah.
Hi, Rosetta.
Yeah, she died from cancer, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Which sucks because she was kind of easy to look at.
Yeah. She was also in the movie Space Camp.
Well, yeah, go back and watch the movie Mischief.
Mm-hmm.
From 1985.
I met them once. John Travolta was flying his 707 I met them both once at LAX while I was working there. But that's, it's like meeting people, at a con or something like that. Like, okay, I met Alan Dean Foster once. Great. I met John Travolta once. I met the Backstreet Boys and things like that. It's like, okay, so that's on my resume, but
You're a name dropper.
I met Buck Rogers in 2012.
I am a name dropper. Buck Rogers, huh?
Yeah.
Duck
Right
Dodgers in the 25th
In the
century.
23rd and a half century.
Not Duck Rogers, Buck Rogers, Gail Hurd.
Wasn't it Gil Gerard?
Yeah, Gil Gerard. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
It's okay. It's okay. I've been brain farting shit all night.
My whole life at this point is a brain fart.
We were talking about Picard earlier, and I was like, Dr. Derarji? Oh, gosh. That was bad.
Sorry. Especially if we stay up all night.
Well, Rosetta, if you pull out that paddle and smack yourself a couple times, you can stay up.
Now remember, this was a religious studies stream.
Oh, this is not church life.
No, it's certainly not church life.
I scooched around it. I was over in Deej's stream there for a bit.
Rosetta's being good. Sure.
Why don't we believe you, Rosetta?
Well, folks, I'm going to call it a morning and try and get a little bit more sleep myself after eating something for breakfast. I haven't decided what yet. Coffee for breakfast. Yum.
It's always a start.
Sounds like a hole in the stomach to me.
I've had my stomach scoped. I'm actually in very good shape.
Oh, so you're eating solids again. That's good.
Yes, I'm back to eating solids. We'll wait and see. Next time my nerve pain causes me to not be able to eat, I'll let you know.
Okay.
But yeah, I love this. Jedi Bill, again, thank you so much for letting me have this time on Sunday mornings to do Bible studies. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
What are you laughing at, Pflugerville?
Nothing. I'm cool. Sorry.
I'm not allowed to co-host Insomniac Soup and do Bible studies? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I don't know. The way it looks, we might have to relieve Bill here for a couple nights.
I know.
So he can retire and take a little time off. But he won't.
Well, actually, I just need to get my house in order. I need to get it cleaned, but I need
you need that bleach and the Lysol. You need to do that today.
I need to get some bleach, and I don't have a lot of money for the bleach. I mean, I have a partial bottle of bleach, and I got other cleaning stuff.
We got a flying spaghetti monster.
Oh, Jesus. Talk about the end of the stream.
Dear God. Anyone watching Anti-Trucker right now is laughing their butt off.
Why is that?
I'm watching his Sunday stream, and once again he's talking about what he talks about during his Sunday stream, and he mentions that damn fucking spaghetti monster. So I literally super chatted him, all caps. What the F is the flying spaghetti monster? I'm tired of hearing where the hell is this? And then he explained it. I'm like, oh, I never understood what that was.
Now you know what a flying spaghetti monster is.
Yes. Yes. And then Jeff said, it's a great big monster that falls in a black hole.
That's funny. That's funny. I like that. For those
Dear
of you
God.
who don't know, a flying spaghetti monster is an atheist's definition of God.
Basically.
Oh my word!
Basically. To prove that the beautifulness of the design of the universe it hasn't been preordained. That it's just random, that everything has order. It's the flying spaghetti monster.
Now, I've done an hour of Bible study and 15 minutes of pop culture talk.
Well, sometimes his definitions of atheist and agnostic are a little bit not on the same level as mine.
I may actually go into a discussion about the difference between agnostic and atheist one of these days. Well, today was a history lesson, and Jedi Bill actually liked the history lesson.
Yeah.
He doesn't like a lot of my religious studies, but he does like the history lesson. So,
Well, okay, just give us a brief synopsis, because the monster and I weren't here for the...
Okay, so there's a 400-year gap between the Old Testament and the New Testament. And I went into the history of that 400-year period when the Persian Empire tried to conquer Egypt, and Egypt tried to conquer Syria, and Syria tried to conquer Egypt, and Israel just happened to be the battleground for most of it.
Okay.
And then you had, starting about 130 BC, the Maccabean kingdom, and you had the Maccabean rebellion, and that's where you get Hanukkah from. So the 8 crazy nights of the oil should have only lasted 3 days, but the oil lasted eight nights, and so that's where you get Hanukkah from. The Maccabean revolt, and then the rise of the Herodic Empire before the birth of Jesus. So that's what I talked about this morning. Wow, it really could have been very, very short. So Jedi Bill has ammonia.
Well, this is totally LA's totally awesome. That's the only other cleaner I have other than bleach right now.
You know what? Anything that kills germs right now is what you want. Bleach would be better, but ammonia will be fine.
That's a really good oil cutter.
Yeah, it says
In grease.
all-purpose concentrated cleaner, degreaser, spot remover.
What you're looking to do is kill the staph bugs in your shower, your toilet, your kitchen sink. That's what you're looking to do. You want to wash all of your clothes, and you want to wash them in the hottest water that you can wash them in. Your clothes and your bedding, because that staph infection is in your clothing right now.
No, this is clean, so.
Yeah, that isn't probably going to do the trick for you. You need bleach.
Okay, so we'll get a couple bottle, 4 bottles of bleach?
You probably don't need that much.
Right.
4 gallons. 4
You-
gallons of bleach.
You only need if you're doing your laundry, you only need 1 cup. But you want
Yeah.
to pour that in first and then start filling the tub and then throw your clothes on top and blah, blah,
And-
blah.
You're doing a 1 to 8 mixture for the rest of your house.
And if you have a spray bottle, even something that you're
I have a spray bottle.
Right. Yeah, just mix the stuff up and just spray it on all the surfaces that are in your bathroom and whatever you don't want bleached. Or whatever you want bleached, I mean.
Okay.
But yeah, CCDV is completely right. You
We
gotta
can't bleach.
down.
You can't bleach colors because then
Right.
they go
Well,
bye
you
bye.
If you bleach in your laundry, you can bleach most of the colors today because they're color safe. But you, like what I said, you got to throw the bleach in to the tub and then start filling the tub and make sure that everything's diluted before you throw your colors in.
Yeah, so if you do 1 cup of bleach and then 8 cups of water, that's going to be enough to disinfect your entire house. As far as your clothing is concerned, you want to wash it on the absolute highest temperature you can get.
Okay.
And get some more bandages for that leg.
Yeah,
So you want to keep the leg.
I put a new one on a while ago. So.
Okay. You want to keep your leg covered up so it doesn't actually spread to we're talking about disinfecting the bathtub and the toilet and the sink. And
ER give me this bacterian gel.
Bacitration. That's a good antibiotic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bacitration. Yeah.
Yep.
And I have triple biotic somewhere, a couple of them around here. I just gotta find them.
Yeah. So you want to keep doing that, and you must take those antibiotics. You and Nina need to go to the store and get those today.
Yeah, I'm gonna head over there in just a while here.
Yeah, just 1 little bottle of bleach though. That'll clean your entire apartment. So,
Yeah, you don't have to bleach the whole house.
right. You're talking about the
But I'm
common
going
areas.
to. But I'm going to anyway.
Okay.
Well,
That's
I
cool
mean-
though.
the important places are where you sleep and
Yeah, MRSA's a bad infection. I actually picked up MRSA when I was in Iraq. And it took about 6 months for the doctors to actually cure the MRSA infection that I had. So,
ouch.
yeah, it's a pretty bad infection. So you really want to take care to the best of your ability and get that stuff cleaned.
Okay,
And
Right.
make sure you take your antibiotics.
I will.
Yeah, when I heard about it earlier, I didn't understand that it was actually a staph infection.
That's
So
what they told
yeah,
me.
yeah, the antibiotics should kick in the ass, but you're gonna have to do some cleaning and change
Oh, yeah.
wounds and change bandages, whatever.
Hey, good morning, Jeff Franklin. How are you today? Not depressed, I hope.
Lovely, Jeff. Oh, we had fun last night.
God.
I get
Act-
curve.
I think here.
What do you got going on there, Jedi?
Oh, I was going to tell you what the antibiotics they prescribed. Kerflex 500 milligrams and Bardum DS 800 milligrams. Something.
Huh. I haven't heard of those. I had to be on a vancomycin drip for 3 days. So, wow. Okay. But they got you on 2 antibiotics and it shouldn't ruin your stomach. That's one of the problems I had.
My biggest issue, if I had anything like that, is I'm allergic to penicillin products. So anything with Ilan. I'm screwed.
Anything with Illin.
Yeah, exactly.
Is Illin.
Yeah.
Anything with Illin is Illin
Yep.
to me. Oh, by the way, yeah, I was streaming till like 4 a.m. last night. I mean, don't get me wrong. CCDV was tearing it up. I mean, he was streaming later than I was. I had to bow out.
My voice is ruined right now.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, when CC finishes up, we'll get a few more people in here because we had Epic Beardman with his premiere. We were tearing it up last night. Oh yeah, as soon as CCDV finishes, he only streams like an hour or two. Son of a bitch, like 4 or 5 hours over there.
Oh, it was like 4 hours last night. Oh, we were having so much fun singing.
No, it looked like you guys were having a blast too. But I was like, oh yeah, don't worry, we're gonna get some more people popping in here as soon as CC calls it a night.
And Yitzy said, "That's a big bottle of orange juice, Jedi Bill."
Yeah, don't.
But
drink
I
that.
missed your I missed this morning because I was sleeping. How did your intro go?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I did the 30-second timer, and then I went ahead and did the intro, and it turned out perfect.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Actually, I just rewound. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, you got the timer. Oh, sweet. And I guess you're using that that website. What's his name uses?
Oh, I actually downloaded the video and uploaded it to StreamYard, so I could use it anytime. I could play it right now if you.
No,
But
I'm playing it. That's cool. That's cool.
it's the national anthem. I love it.
Yes, Captain Chuck. We're gonna keep the place clean. Although
And that's a
And,
cool website, man. Just be careful with the freaking terms and conditions, man, because that's just scary as hell. Seriously, I can't say enough about it. They basically say they can content match you whenever they want.
Rambling Canuck created it, and the national anthem is not copyrighted by anyone, so we're good. Jeff Franklin. Jeff Franklin says to Jedi Bill, "Take care of yourself."
I will.
Which is absolutely a good thing. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies, thank you for joining us.
Yeah. And he subscribed.
Oh, nice.
Thank you for subbing. That almost gets me to 150. I'm catching up with you, LDG.
It's not a contest, brother. It's not a contest, brother. I might be winning. It might feel great. It's not a contest, brother.
And Yosef wants to give you a warning, Jedi Bill. No alcohol with those antibiotics.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah, totally, man.
No alcohol for the next couple of weeks, brother. You need to get that leg fixed, and then you can drink your rum. All right?
Okay. We'll do.
So you weren't kidding about this, staff something? You're really hurting, Jedi?
Yeah.
Just
man,
an
take care of yourself.
weeping wound for the last 2 weeks? Sure.
Yeah. Oh, wow. What? Seriously? Dude.
Yeah.
Don't F around with antibiotics, man. Antibiotics are like the one medicine that people just don't know. Well, I'm not saying people, but you know what I mean? If you don't take that shit fully, it'll come right back, right?
Basically, the
You
wound was starting to smell like Limburger cheese.
I'm not joking.
Dude.
I literally called Nina, and she was grocery shopping, and I called Nina. I was like, Nina, you need to go home. You need to take Jedi Bill to the hospital right now.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I guess
And you went?
last night.
Yes, I did.
I remember last night when you said something about Limburger cheese or something about rotten eggs, and it was like, oh, that can't be good.
No, that's a very bad sign.
That gets into your veins, brother, and it could kill you like nothing, man. Gets into your bloodstream, right?
It does. Yeah, it can get into the lymphatic system, which is really bad. So I'm very glad that Jedi Bill called me yesterday. It was like, there's something wrong with my leg. Go to the fucking hospital, man. Just go right now.
It's just a scab.
We giggle about it, but it is really serious. Oh, and the other thing, the other thing too is make sure you brush your teeth real well and take care of your mouth area, because the crap that's in your leg can migrate into your teeth and then start festering in there, and then you're just screwed.
I brush my teeth every day.
No, I'm not saying you don't. I'm just making a point.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, staph is a very bad thing.
Right. And then Captain Trek says you got to keep your house clean. Sometimes you have to like go a little overboard cleaning, because that staph is just,
It is persistent. And
it's relentless.
It often, and I'm not joking, so you wipe your nose, right, with your hand, and you haven't been paying attention, right? So you wipe your nose with your hand because you got a booger or something like that. Well, the thing is that you scratched your leg 2 hours ago.
Yep.
And so that staph bug is on your finger. And so you wipe your nose, and guess where the staph colonizes? It's up your nose. I'm not joking about that.
In your lungs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why when they get it in a hospital, that's why they just tear everything down. They bleach the shit out of everything. And
The Epic Beard has joined us. Hello, Epic Beard.
hello, Epic Beard.
Excuse me.
Oh,
I'll
and
get
good
my
morning,
coffee's
Pickles.
ready. I'll be right back. Good morning, Fluger. How are you, sir? I love you.
Barely
I love
awake.
each and every one of you. You know this, right? Especially you, Jeff Franklin. I know you left my show. You left my channel yesterday a little angry, but that's okay. I'm just glad I got to hear the words last night that I barely ever hear and I fight so hard for.
It wasn't just
Magical words.
It wasn't just your show he had to leave early on.
Hey, Deej,
Oh,
what's
really?
happening?
But I did get to hear the. Hi, Deej. Sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
I was just popping up because I was going to go lay down, but you guys are still streaming, so I had to come say hi.
I didn't expect my Bible study to turn into a insomniac soup in the morning.
Oh, is this a Bible study theme? Oh man, shit. Sorry, well, I'm sorry. Crud. Sorry.
Fudge.
It hasn't been a Bible study for 45 minutes, my friend. We're good.
Oh, you were talking about Bird of Prey. Yeah, I mean, even I wanted to almost leave that. Like that,
Yes.
I was getting angry what he was saying. Like it sounded like he was doing that out of smite. And I get pissed off when we watch Saturday Cinema and we're not talking about the damn movie or some stupid comments are just being said just to be stupid funny. I want to enjoy the damn movie. Yeah, it's commentary, but commentate about the movie. Like when we were talking about, like, is that Gates McFadden? Like, okay, yeah, cool. Like that was cool. But you're talking about fake white people and dude, I want to hear it, man. Seriously, I'm trying to enjoy the movie here.
No, that was not Bird of Prey, and we, multiple of us, were trying to get him to stop saying that stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't Bird. It wasn't Bird. It was that other guy.
And Bird tried to slow him down too, but just couldn't.
He tried.
Anywhere
honestly,
with him.
if it were my stream, and I'm not joking, I would kick any one of you out right now if you pissed me off.
Oh, we know that, CCDV. Trust me.
I already threw my
We know
joke.
that.
I already throw my joke out there for next Saturday that I was going to tell. I was going to get on the panel and start saying, "Well, just think of what would happen if William Shatner had directed Star Trek 2." But I already gave it up to Pickles, so I'm good now. I won't have to bomb the stream.
Thank you. Even I will not stand for it on the Burbs. Like I will say something if I want to watch my damn Burbs. Do you know how hard I fought to watch the Burbs? Okay.
Oh, the Burbs was canceled.
now,
I gotta
Hey,
mute.
your channel is canceled. Wait, look, give me a second. Hold on one second.
now the Epic Bird and Jeff Franklin are going back and forth on which one is a waker.
I'm only 1.57079.
Oh my word. These people think too much.
I'm 10th to the 9th degree awake. Matter of fact, my
Dang.
coffee's in the microwave waiting right now.
Dang old mathematician.
Go get your coffee, man. Son of a
I'm going to,
bitch.
I was trying to make the point of last night. We had fun last night. And I finally got to hear the words, you have a point. Unfreaking real. Orgasmic.
Oh,
It was orgasmic. Better than sex. Finally got to hear someone tell me, I have a point. Oh, God, was it fun.
Good morning,
But, by the-
sci-fi guy. Welcome. Thank
By
you
the
for
way-
joining us.
And if anyone missed it, CCDV, Epic Beards in the chat. He premiered last night, his video at about 11 o'clock. Guys, if you haven't watched Epic Beards premiere, it is awesome. Check it out. Obviously, after the stream.
Yeah, I'll check it out, but I was singing karaoke.
No, man did a great job. And I had him on my show after he came on. We talked about it. We talked about what he's doing with his channel. Excellent first episode. And if anyone has the link, if they can drop it in the chat so you guys can watch it later. Epic Beard.
Oh,
Good job
yeah,
to you.
I can do that. Hold on. Let me
And I will make sure it's the one that actually dropped, because he actually had a video, two videos yesterday, one telling about the premiere and the one that was the actual episode 1 premiere. It was like 11 o'clock. Let me go get my coffee. Be right back.
What the hell? I'm not a. Oh, YouTube, you're killing me. All right.
Did it
Well,
unsub you?
It did. Yes.
Dude, you want to hear something funny? Mar was on my channel yesterday for the entire 9-hour stream. YouTube unsubbed him while he was watching. Yes, when he went to jump on the StreamYards, he's like, wait a second, it says unsubbed. But he got the notification to the stream. So he was subbed and then it got unsubbed during watching. It was hilarious. All right, be right back.
Epic Beard, you're gonna have to come on and put your drop your link in the private chat, because all I get is crazy old men with really long beards when I look up Epic Beard. So
we were bitching about that on Deej's channel just a few minutes ago. You know, you can't just click on the 3 pills anymore and just say, you know, I want to go to their page.
I know that would be awesome, right?
Well, it was that way, but YouTube eliminated it a few months ago.
Right.
Yeah.
All
You
right,
can't
so
click
I am
the
on Beard's
avatar. You
page.
can't click on the 3 pills. So,
Here,
what's
I'll
that,
put Beard-
Deej?
I'm throwing Beard's link to his channel out there,
Oh, good. I can
and now I
resubscribe.
will figure out which one of these is. He has a 49-second video, and then he has an hour video.
Inviting the nerds was 4 weeks ago, so
Look
I'm
at
guessing it's the Chronicles
Oh.
of Jason.
CCDV. Look in the back room, in the backstage.
Oh,
There's also the link to his.
hey, it's my professor. What's happening?
Mr. CCDV. Just trying to wake up still. How are you?
Oh, I'm all right, eh?
A,
Yeah. Eh?
B,
DNA.
C.
I get to say
Sorry.
it because it's ironic for me.
The Canuck. You're gonna vote Canuck.
Oh, the Canuck's not here. He's fine. I got a private chat in here too. Oh, well, thank you, Brainy. I got you up here.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I was ringing the doorbell.
Yeah, I had to.
Sorry, I was looking for the Epic Beard. I couldn't find him.
That's okay. I was only back there for about a minute or so. No problem.
All right, Epic Beard, I am resubscribed to you. I cannot believe that YouTube dropped my subscription to you. It's
What?
crazy.
Really? Oh,
Hey, I lost one during my stream, so it's okay.
yeah, you did.
What did you do, DJ?
I have no
Each.
idea. I think it was because Mar come up and declared that it was his stream. So, because I started out at 572, and then halfway through, I went to look at something, and all of a sudden, I was at 571 again. I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
If y'all can keep the conversation going, I'm going to go refill my coffee mug.
Okay.
I'll be here for a couple minutes, so I'll help. Now I'm
We'll
going
do
back.
our best.
I'll be right back.
I'm running out of NyQuil to keep my throat from hurting.
Why's your throat hurting?
I
I wanna know?
I've had a sore throat, body aches
Oh no, you had the
the last
COVID.
couple days. No, I already had it, so I ain't got that. I think it's just because the weather's changing. Then it goes freaking from 90 something one day to 70 something the next, then back to 90 something.
Oh, I didn't realize you got the virus at one point.
Months ago.
Okay. I was unaware, and I'm glad you're okay.
Well, I just didn't talk about it like overly amount because I didn't want to sound like some other people that talk about how they're sore and hurting and all that stuff. And I didn't want to have to put up a red icon. Not mentioning any names, but
Who could you possibly be talking about?
Oops. I didn't turn off my microphone.
oops.
Oops.
Sorry about that, everybody.
It's not like we really heard anything.
I try to keep an upbeat demeanor every time, but if you're listening to me try and sit down in my chair,
Ooh, oh, ooh, oh.
That's why I try to mute my mic every time I try to stand up to get away from this table.
God,
I'm back.
I can't believe I forgot to mute the microphone.
What did I miss? What did I miss? Did you fart? What happened?
Grandpa CCDV tried to come back and sit down.
And you know
And then he
how it
farted?
is when grandpas are trying to sit down, you hear them.
Body stretch. It's a body stretch. Body stretch. Body stretch.
Mark asked,
It's
when
more
did-
like when you take a piece of newspaper and start crumpling it up. That or you're breaking twigs in the woods.
There's not a grandpa talk on it.
Oh my lord. Oh,
Good
I gotta
morning,
check my
Robert
messages.
Pearson. All right.
Oop, I got some messages.
When did Insomnia Soup start? About a month ago.
About 15 minutes before you got here,
It
Deej.
started Friday night, and we've been going ever since.
We've just been rotating it on channels.
It's become a adoption. You can just adopt the soup. Soup can show up anywhere. You never know where the soup will
Everyone
show
could
up.
Be on the soup.
It was like I couldn't even make up my mind what to call mine this morning, so I was just going with it's Rise and Shine, Brunch, Rational. Oh, the hell with it.
English.
It's something.
It was Rise and Shine. I saw that this
It's
morning.
It's the Deej Brunch Show.
You know, I was stealing from everybody. I was stealing from like Rise and Shine with the Valkyries and the whole brunch
Rise and
thing.
Shine. Brunch. Rash. It's something. Okay, I see. That's funny.
Something.
I nearly went on with you this morning, but I was still putting the finishing touches on my Bible study. So I was like, no, I really need to finish this before I go on with anybody.
Boy. Oh, I missed a few streams. Damn.
Yeah, I was only on for 4.5 hours.
Oh, by the way,
Only.
only. Yeah, right. Oh, hey, Jeff. What's up, Jeff?
Eating pickles.
Not much.
Eating pickles.
And I also want to make note, Mr. Lundell's Groovy Movies did an awesome on-the-fly stream yesterday. Did a video where we got to see him on StreamYards and actually commentary with the movie he was playing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. The test looked like it went fine, and I can't wait to see more of that because I've always said Mr. Lundell's great Groovy Movies, man. We need to. I want to hear Mr. Groovy Movies talk about his movies while he plays.
I love Mr. Lundell's groovy movies.
I think
So do I.
When I'm watching them, we go back and forth in the chat.
Yep.
I think I was Mr. Lundell's hero this morning because I stayed on and went against Anti-Trekker.
Right.
I apparently go against Andy Trekker every weekend.
Well, it was kind of funny when Mama Prey said, "Deej, you're gonna stay on till
Yeah.
you weren't
wanted to
going to
make-
log off."
She wanted to make sure I stayed on against him.
Oh, that was funny.
It's funny.
I like Andy Trekker. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh, we all like Anti-Trekker. There's not a problem. It's funny when you can kick him in the pisser once in a while.
Yeah. Though I did see a mark in drop age as soon as he went on and you went on. I did lose about 11 people, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I can't hold everybody to myself. I seem stingy that way.
Hey, I've
Yeah, you
only
gotta
been
give him
doing
some
this
people.
for 5 weeks.
But like son of a bitch, you had like 28 to 30 people in there.
Well,
And-
for a little
and-
while.
And 2 of these 5 weeks, I wasn't able to wake up on time, so the morning blend was late.
That's when it should have became the brunch blend.
The brunch blend. That's what we should do.
The brunch bunch.
One of you guys want to host a brunch bunch?
what,
A
huh?
brunch?
What?
A brunch bunch?
There we
Say
go.
that.
The brunch bunch. There we go. I like that.
Say that 3 times fast.
I can't. That's why I said it so slow.
And I got to break the news that Simon Cowell had broke his back, so I was doing good this morning.
Oh, wow. Simon Cowell broke his back, huh?
Yeah, he fell off an electric bike that he had.
Mm.
He
You
fell
can
down.
recover from that.
Yeah, he had surgery already.
Eating pickles. Hey now.
Yosef in the future eating pickles.
Killing my brothers and sisters.
Oh, I thought you were the spaghetti monster now.
Yeah, tell me about the flying spaghetti monster. Flying
It's an
spaghetti
unsolved
monster.
mystery.
I just found out about the damn thing today. I keep hearing everybody talking about the stupid flying spaghetti monster. I got so pissed off. I had a super chat. What the F is the flying spaghetti monster? Tired of hearing about it.
All right.
Didn't realize it was an actual thing.
You know, you
Professor-
could have saved some money and just Googled
Thanks,
it.
Dick Tracy. Thanks, Dick Tracy. Where'd you park your squad car?
Professor Brainy, would you enlighten us on what the flying spaghetti monster is?
No, I think LD should because he's the one that asked and found out.
Yeah, he's the one that spent money on it instead of Google.
Yeah, so he should get his money's worth and tell us.
Well, from my understanding, is basically
Now remember whose
Yeah.
stream you're on right now.
I'm taking a moment here.
He's already said that you make him mad, he'll boot you.
I'm taking a moment here. So, from my understanding,
I don't get mad when you insult my God. My God is a lot bigger than any of you guys.
I think, you know what? I think Jeff put it better when he said the flying spaghetti monster is basically a monster that falls into a black hole. There we go. That's the
It's
flying
what
spaghetti
appears
monster.
when something falls into a black hole, is what I said.
Yes,
That's
it is. It is.
That's
It
the
is
movie
Rover.
Solo, isn't it?
3 processed pickles.
Yeah, throw the cookie monster into a black hole. Flying spaghetti monster. There we go. Now, and it was interesting because I didn't realize it was actually a real thing, and then I thought it was something AT made up, like some kind of inside joke. That's why I super chatted him. I didn't realize I could actually Google the damn thing. It would have saved me $2, but it was kind of funny, and I got a laugh out of AT. And anytime I can make AT actually smile is a good thing. So I guess it has to do with people who believe that the universe is such a perfect design, it has to be had to have been created by some intelligent being. And the flying spaghetti monster is the theory that no, there is no intelligent design. Everything's just absolutely randomly in order. And that we believe in the flying spaghetti monster. Did I get that right? I pretty much said that right?
You're a little bit
It's the-
off. A little bit off.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Lundell says it better.
Okay, go ahead. The flying spaghetti monster is a way for atheists to insult believers.
Pretty much.
Right there.
So, as a believer, I believe that God created the universe. So, I am a believer in intelligent design. And atheists, especially the anti-Christian type atheists, they tend to try and insult Christians like me by calling our God the flying spaghetti monster.
Yeah, so let's make this
Oh my
point
God.
here. It's not all atheists that do it. It is more of the really
The Well, someone wrote a anti-Christian, paper- yeah.
someone-
case ones.
That's why
Someone
I
wrote a
qualified
paper on
with, that's why I qualified it with anti-Christian atheists.
And
He
good
said someone
morning,
wrote a
Loki.
paper on it. It's specifically somebody who actually did this. Like it isn't like a mythos, or it's someone actually wrote a paper about the flying spaghetti monster, and I guess that's what lifted off this whole flying spaghetti monster.
Good morning,
from-
Loki.
From when I was
Good morning,
told.
Loki.
Good morning, Loki.
And breaking news! Oh my God! Breaking news! I can't believe this. Joseph is literally eating pickles. It's actually eating pickles.
LDG.
This is hilarious. Can you
just
bigify me just for a second, just so people can see what the hell this guy's eating for breakfast?
Yeah.
He was cleaning his pool earlier.
He was actually
hell
in
is
his
this?
pool earlier,
That
swimming
looks
around
like,
his damn pool.
Potatoes.
Is that you're eating- what is that? Chicken and bacon and noodles and pickle. Oh, hey, look, there's one you half ate. You can't eat a whole pickle, really? Seriously? you just took a bite where you just tasting this right here?
You got a Wookiee in here too now.
Oh
Dear
my
Lord.
goodness. There's a Wookiee in here too.
Jeez Louise.
Where are we, by the way?
Here's CCDV. I'm gonna sign off for today, and then like 5 people log on.
Yeah.
It's all
I'm
my
like,
fault.
okay, well, my Bible study is over, so let's go ahead and end this. And here
There
we
you go.
are, an hour later.
The flying spaghetti monster. Here we go. Woo!
Who was it?
Woo-hoo!
Positive Candor ran out running.
It's the flying spaghetti monster.
Oh, goodness gracious. This is-
Great balls of fire.
Oh God.
Wookiee Supremacy says, I'm an atheist, but not the butthole kind. I'm American. I believe you have the right to worship anything you want. I happen to worship the flying spaghetti monster, so that's cool.
That's
Yeah,
pretty much
that's
true.
yeah. There's nothing wrong with believing or not believing in something. Whether or not that's actually true or not is a different story. But believing something, there's nothing wrong with that.
Robert Pearson. I'm somewhere between atheist and agnostic. I don't believe in God, and I swear a lot, but sometimes I look up for lightning bolts just in case. Oh, you guys are so funny. I love it.
Oh, Captain Trek, we're sorry.
All right, Captain Trek. We'll see you later.
Blame it on
DM
me.
you. I'll
my
DM you
fault.
later on. No worries.
I'm sorry,
No, we've-
CCDV. You can kick me. I made you lose, Captain Trek. I'm sorry.
I haven't lost Captain Trek. You haven't said anything that insulted me. I know
And-
you do the silly stuff with
and
your
He'll be
with your
back.
avatar, but it's cool. You haven't insulted me, and you know, Captain Trek is a cool guy. He's just
Well, if you want to describe him, he's just under a lot of stress. You know, he's lost it on a few people there in the last couple of weeks.
yeah. So it's no
So,
big deal.
Yeah,
No big
you
deal.
just gotta let him cool down a little bit.
Well, I mean, he was in the chat along for the last hour and a half, you know,
Right?
and
Yeah.
so it wasn't until you did that whole spaghetti monster thing with your avatar that he lost his shit. So
Hey, Wookiees of Earth supremacy.
That is mushrooms, tomatoes, ham, onions, and eggs. Cheese on the top and pickles. That is my 5 p.m. first meal of the day.
yeah, okay.
That is your first meal of the day?
that's on
the
you,
breakfast.
man.
That's the breakfast of champions.
That's
Dear
that
God.
Slovakian breakfast.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm the first person to say I always love a good pickle. Always got room for a good pickle, especially like those Clausens. Oh, I love them. Oh my God. Matter of fact, short story here. My ex loves pickles. She has a fetish for pickles. So one year we ended up going, and I spent like $3,000 and went to.
Are you distracted by Fozzie Bear?
Uh-oh.
Went to Disney and had a nice long vacation. And you know what? Yeah, I'm angry. Yeah, you yes, I'm angry, you son of a bitch. Anyway. Deej. Okay. Anyway, so we went out for a weekend, and we went to one of the Disney hotels, and it was very expensive, but it was awesome though. And one of the jokes I did right before we went out is I went and bought a whole bunch of stuff,
Hi, Wookie.
lotion, cream, and everything. One of the things I bought as a joke, and we made sure we brought our own food, like for snacks, while we're in the hotel. We went to one of the really good Disney hotels. I can't remember which one we went to, but one of the really, really good ones. And I bought 12 jars of pickles, which she didn't realize until we got there. And she opens up the container and saw 12 jars of pickles, and she laughed her ass off. She really loves pickles. So I'm always down for a good pickle.
I would like to take this opportunity to let Jedi Bill tell his story. And if you don't tell it, I will, Jedi
Okay.
Bill.
Story about what?
Open weeping wound on your leg for 2 weeks.
Oh, it's probably been longer than 2 weeks.
Wow.
That Fozzie Bear is vicious.
If he would have fell off the chair, that would have been so much more funnier if he could have done that.
So Jedi Bill contacted me yesterday. Sorry, Jedi Bill called me yesterday. He was like, "Oh, I've had this wound on my leg for 3 weeks, and it's been open and weeping the entire time, and it's starting to smell like really bad cheese."
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jedi was fermenting.
What? It was, to me, it was just a scab. Okay.
I said,
Wow, that's
Jedi
on
Bill-
scab.
June.
Jedi Bill, you need to go to the hospital right now. He said, Nina's out of the apartment. I was like, okay, I'm hanging up with you. And I called Nina right away. I was like, Nina, you need to go home. You need to get Jedi Bill to the hospital right now.
I got a tetanus. I got blood work done, X-ray and ultrasound. Now I gotta go get my medications.
How long-
You're
how
gonna
long
pick
did
up
they
the
give you, Jedi?
medications, And you're going to
Huh?
pick up a quart of bleach.
Yes.
And you are going to clean that apartment so that you don't reinfect yourself or infect Nina.
Yes.
If Nina gets a cut,
Sanitizer.
if Nina gets a cut and she uses the same equipment you use, she can be infected the same way you were infected. So please clean that apartment.
Yeah, it doesn't even
And
have
if
to be
you're
a cut.
lazy, just get the spray.
All
Just
it
get
has
the
to
good
be
stuff.
is a scratch. All it has to be is you
If you can find the good stuff.
just.
Like I said, 1 to 8 for bleach is going to be good enough to sanitize the apartment. So
Right.
if you just
Okay.
want to do 1 to 8 bleach and fill a spray bottle and spray everything in the apartment, you can do that. Me personally, I scrub everything so it's nice and shiny and
I
clean.
go. I sweep. I mop. I vacuum. I sweep. I mop. I vacuum. I sweep. I mop. I vacuum.
Do you clean? Do you clean them up?
Yes.
Just making sure. Like
That's
the handle.
that's a valid question. A lot of people they think that just hanging the mop over the balcony is good enough.
Well, I could change. I could change the end of the mop head. So I could
Yeah,
take
no,
that.
I'm being serious though. The mop head, yeah, changed, but I'm mainly talking about the stick. You got to clean your
Well,
stick.
I put it hot
Um,
water and you
okay.
know.
Keep your stick clean.
Okay, you're
Always keep your stick clean.
Let's not go there.
yeah.
I keep my sticks clean. I clean every one of my sticks.
Are you Klingon?
You better set this to 18 and above now.
Well, I gotta go get something to eat and lay down for a little while and try to get over this. Ick. But I
You
have
okay,
one,
Get over your crud, gosh dang.
but I have to share one word of wisdom before I leave. It's down below.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh.
Why am I cringing right now?
Rough sex is better when you're not alone.
Okay, then.
I think any sex is better when you're not alone.
This is the perfect stream to put that on, Deej. Thank you.
Well, I put it towards the way past the so you know it was okay. Now you can kick me for being bad because I'm gonna go lay down. So boot me.
Something about that in Bible study doesn't quite.
And remember, we have Yosef in the chat, so you have to be careful what you say or display.
He's busy mowing the yard, so we're safe.
Oh,
Loki says, "Don't lie, Pickles. You got shit Ajax wouldn't take off."
wow.
Wow.
On that
Wow.
note, I'm out of here.
Wow.
Bye, Deej. Take care.
You know, that night you came over, you did sign an NDA. So
Whoa.
An NDA
Now
to
that-
Wow.
fellow YouTuber.
Yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be just one night. You signed an NDA. Shut the hell up.
Later, Deej.
See you later, Deej. Have a good
Deej-
rest, brother.
He's just pissed.
See you
He's just
later
pissed.
in the day.
Robert
He's just
Pearson.
pissed
Oh
that I
my
was right.
goodness.
He's just pissed I was right about the Ancients actually being on board SGU. I was right. Last night, Beard helped me prove it. Which, by the way, guys, I will be reading those comics. I didn't even realize there were comics after SGU. What happened after season 2?
Can you still find them?
Yes, I already have them. I'm going to
Ah.
read them. It's whole volume 1, six comics, 6 volumes, 1 volume, 6 episodes, or whatever they call it.
I'm sorry.
Issues. Sorry, 6 issues.
You guys know my opinion on SGU. It's
Yep,
important.
It's the bestest ever.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
but this is awesome. Like they actually continued the story, and it is original creator canon. They also check this out. Remember how they left Atlantis and they left the galaxy and basically just tucked tail and ran and left the the Wraith in the galaxy.
Yes, yeah.
And
the Wraith-
never answered that.
Pegasus Galaxy, I know.
They came out with a comic for that too, continuing the
Didn't-
story. What happened after they got to Earth?
So
Didn't
they
they
went
have
back
novels?
to the Pegasus Galaxy, or the Wraith
Graphic
came
novels.
to the Orion,
The Pegasus Galaxy. What about it?
did Atlantis go back to the Pegasus Galaxy, or did the Wraith come to the Milky Way Galaxy?
I don't know yet. I just found out these comics existed yesterday.
Oh,
Graphic
okay.
novels. But there are continuations. They actually did something.
Deej, I'm
There-
gonna kill you, man.
There are actually novels, and I don't mean graphic novels for Stargate Atlantis.
I'm calling them graphic novels. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but it might have been a novel. When I was looking on the website, it did look like it could have been a novel. I don't know if we're talking about the same thing. Did the first
No.
issue have what's his name on it? God, I'm forgetting his name.
No, these are like books. They're not graphic novels.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I'll look it up too. Why not? Let's see. What do I read books on these days? What's it called? Audible? Yeah, that's what it's called.
Shepherd had Shepherd on the first one had Shepherd on the cover. It was the story after. Now you're talking about Jeff, are you talking about just regular novels or
Yes.
a novel specifically telling the story what happened after the last episode?
Well, I'm trying to. I have a friend that is a big Stargate fan, and he's told me several times he's read the Stargate Atlantis novels. These are, books
So I'm seeing
you
those.
get that continue the story.
Yes. That's what that's what I'm talking about. Yes. But there are also
see.
novels. There are also novels of the episodes themselves. They're two different things I'm seeing here. Like Homecoming, all that stuff.
Well, they are not on Audible, so sadness. If they are novels, they're not on Audible, so I can't read them. That makes me sad.
So yeah, the SGU one goes a step further, and there are in fact ancients on the ship, on the Destiny. There are 2 of them actually that were discovered.
I'm sorry, what?
Actually, redefined a canon, my friend. Canon is any works of art, any literature made by the original creator.
Okay.
Canon isn't what you think it is.
So the first 15 novels in the Stargate Atlantis series deal with things before the end of the actual TV show. The 16th book starts a 6-book series that takes place after the end of Stargate Atlantis.
Why aren't they on Audible?
I don't know.
The sixth collection. That's the one I was looking at. Yes.
And the first one has both Shepard and General O'Neill on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Homecoming, and it's book 1 in the Legacy series.
Mm-hmm.
Stargate Chronicles.
The description is Atlantis has returned to Earth. The team members have dispersed and are beginning new lives far from the dangers of the Pegasus Galaxy. They think the adventure is over. They're wrong. With the help of General Jack O'Neill, Atlantis rises once more, and the former members of the expedition must decide whether to return with her to Pegasus or remain safely on Earth in the new lives they enjoy.
Yep.
That makes me sad. I can't get it on Audible. Jeez. Oh, I don't like being crippled. I used to enjoy holding a book in my hands.
You can get it on Amazon Kindle. It's in other popular ebook formats. I don't know if you can hold a tablet or not.
There's a Loki.
Hey, Loki, what's up?
Hey, Loki.
Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich wrote Stargate. They did not write the comic. They did not have anything to do with the series. So if you want to go the original creators, Dean Devlin and Roland Emmerich are the original creators. So no, it is not canon.
Oh, good
I
man.
just woke up and I'm busting
Good man.
ass.
Good man. No, at least you're following the rules and not just saying words that mean jack squat. Good man.
Well, I do follow the rules.
You know what?
Good.
Dean Devlin is a great creator and producer. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Leverage. It only lasted 2 seasons, but it is one of my favorite shows. And Dean Devlin created Leverage along with that other feller.
If you want to go into the original Stargate series, none of the people that were involved in the first season of SG-1 had anything to do with the comic.
I like what Jitsi says in the text chat. There's a certain site where you can download them legally, Professor Brainy Specs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yitzi also says that Yosef is a canon.
Well, I won't ask what he means by that.
Canon is subjective. It's whatever we want it to be. So for me, a comic that came out after SG-1, no. But for Pickles, sure. But it's subjective to the person that's reading it. Is this canon to me? Yes. Is it canon to you? It might not be. But it all depends on who the hell's reading it.
I was going to say, if you define canon as the original creator, then none of us should have any problems with what's happening with Doctor Who right now, because the
Star Trek.
creators,
Star Trek.
Yeah, or Discovery.
Yes. I've been preaching this for months. Absolutely. And no, unfortunately, canon is not subjective. The different subcategories of canon is subjective. Head canon is subjective, but canon has a specific definition. The ultimate base form of the base canon is not subjective.
So DS9 and Voyager are not canon.
If it doesn't have the original creators involved, it is technically not original canon.
Even though DS9 is connected to TNG. So you're saying that the last, when did
I can connect anything I want to anything I want. I can write a story right now that connects to anything.
You can do whatever you want because you're Pickles. You're always right. Right? You're Pickles.
Yeah. I'm always right. I'm always right. It's written in stone. Thou shalt not question the pickle.
You know what?
There we go.
I've got something for you.
You're wrong.
I've got something for you. Someone just
every series should have a Bible. I'm not talking about the.
Yeah, exactly.
Every series should have a Bible, and so that is canon.
Oh,
And
wow.
when they destroy that.
Sorry.
There we go. That's perfect. Matter of fact, send that to me. That's my new wallpaper.
Breaking news. If you're a Doctor Who fan, and you love Christopher Eccleston, he's coming back in Big Finish Productions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's gonna do a Big Finish. Nice.
Yes.
I like
The
that.
Ninth Doctor is back.
Well, as the what? He's coming back as the Doctor?
Yes, Christopher Eccleston returns to Doctor Who with a brand new series of fantastic full cast audio adventures from Big Finish Productions.
Oh, audio adventures. Okay.
Yeah, that's what Big Finish is.
Okay.
I want to throw something out there. Why do I feel worse for Doctor Who fans than I do for Star Trek fans and Star Wars fans?
Why don't you?
No, why do I feel worse for Doctor Who fans because they're really getting screwed.
Oh yeah. Oh, Doctor Who's getting it bad. Like, definitely. I would easily say Doctor Who's getting it worse than everyone, even worse than Star Wars.
I just put a link into the private chat.
I see that.
I
Absolutely
put it into
worse.
the YouTube.
All right, this is the Doctor Who article about Christopher Eccleston.
Yeah, whether you like it or not.
That's huge because he didn't want anything to do with Doctor Who for years. And about a year ago, he started going to conventions. So now he's going to be in a new production.
I think it was
they treated him after leaving the show after only one season. Yeah, it's understandable why.
Well, not only that, but how they treated him while that was being produced, that one season.
Yeah.
Well,
Although
I don't think he didn't want to be part of Doctor Who. He didn't want to be part of the production team of the series. Like, it wasn't the Doctor Who part that pissed him off.
Yeah, I agree with you, LD.
Yeah, that may be the case.
It was the damn production, producer, and all that crap.
I mean, I don't know Chris Eccleston personally, so.
Mark the Infinitely Tired says, "Wait, what? LDGS doesn't know what Big Finish is? Holy hell, the entropy is going to run rampant now."
Watch out. The gap of the universe has opened up and turned into a black hole. It's going to suck you in.
The entropy on this channel is already taken hold.
Yeah, unfortunately, DS9 technically is not canon by definition. No. Whether or not the guy chose to mix things together or whatever.
A lot of people
Original
canon again.
No, you know what? Suck it, because I love DS9. DS9 is one of the best Trek, and in my head, it is canon.
DS9,
but a definition of canon, anything that calls itself Trek can be Trek, but that's not the point. The point is, it's not an original creator, therefore has no right unless the original creator says otherwise. Now, if the original creator says otherwise, then it's different.
With you on some of that there, LG.
That's right.
You only have to do what you think you have to do.
Original writers, you had original creators from TOS that were.
Okay, you're the one that just said DS9 was not original creators. So if there were original creators in DS9, and it is canon.
I said that Gene didn't have anything to do with it. The writers, DC Fontana was involved.
Okay. Then it is canon. Then it is canon. Then it is canon. Thank you.
Yeah,
well, I actually thought that
all the way up to Enterprise.
Yeah, I actually thought there were some as long as there were original creators involved, it's canon.
And
Done.
DC Fontana is like the mother of Star Trek. If Gene was the father, DC was the mother of Star Trek.
Absolutely.
She had just as much creation and input into Star Trek as Gene.
And she was absolutely.
Oh, then it's canon then.
She was
End of story.
absolutely brilliant when she did the Star Trek episode she wrote.
Yeah,
She would.
anything Star Trek where you watch the end credits and you see DC Fontana,
Yeah.
I'm going to bet you those episodes are going to be in your top 10.
Yep.
Yep. All right, so here we go. Those boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, who needs to know, that is the definition of canon. Of course, I can't type it in there because I'm 20 letters off. Are you serious?
I was gonna say, am I missing something? Why don't you just put it, share your screen and tell us what the definition is, instead of your own opinion of what a definition should be.
No, I'm copying and pasting. I'm copying and pasting from the dictionary. Thank you, sir. Dear God, I would never do that to you, CC.
Just show the dictionary definition then.
Give me a second. Let me share screen.
I love it when you're on with the black hole stream, because that's funny as hell. You're putting out your own opinion, and it's ridiculous a lot of times.
Oh,
oops!
You got Jedi Bill is just going to dirt.
Oh, you want me to bigify instead of okay, there.
Where is it?
Oh, I thought we couldn't use Wiki. I thought Wiki was bad.
I ain't in college anymore, dang it.
I never said that.
Use Wiki.
I never said that. In literature, the term canon is used to distinguish between the original works of a writer who created certain characters and or settings, and then the later works of other writers who took up the same characters or settings.
Now, wait a minute. You said you didn't say that, but when we were talking about black holes the first time and a wiki got brought into it, I do believe you did say, after Mr. CCDB said he doesn't like looking at wiki, you said, yeah, fuck wiki.
Yeah,
So,
that's a difference between distinguishing a joke and then just being a smartass. Yeah, come on now, you should know about this.
Right.
You're the biggest smartass of them all.
In chat, look at what Joseph says. Canon is everything the IP owner says it is.
That's right.
And that's why I want to grab Alex Kurtzman by the fuck neck and slap the piss out of him.
Yeah, grab him by the neck and slap him until he comes to his senses.
Yeah, Joseph, I'm sorry. You might be an intelligent man, but that is completely bullshit.
What?
The IP owner does not define. You can't just change the definition of canon because you're an IP owner.
You said just before the creators.
The creator and the IP owner are two different things.
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. That's why I use the word creator, not IP owner.
Explain Star Wars and Star Trek now, then, because the IP owners say that none of this shit happened, and they wiped out canon in Star Wars. They're saying that all this shit that's happening in STD is canon. So, and they're the ones that are erasing books and rewriting and redoing history. And that's what most of us have a fucking giant problem with this shit.
Yes. And amazing how we can just erase all of that.
Well, that's the thing, is the IP owner is creating canon now. So you have Star Wars, where the IP owner is Disney, and they are rewriting canon for the Star Wars universe. They are
rewriting the IP.
You have CBS, who owns instead of, well, I don't know, does Paramount still own, or is Paramount?
They're joined. They're joined now. Viacom, Paramount, and CBS are all under one license.
All in the same puddle.
So they're the same thing now, and they own Star Trek, and they are recreating the canon for Star Trek.
But don't forget, it was NBC that created TOS. And dropping back even further, it was Lucille Ball's studio.
Yeah,
and I don't remember the name of the studio.
Ricky,
they're creating new canon, but yeah.
You caught me off guard there. Arnaz.
Oh, okay.
Desi Arnaz. The production company was
Lucille Ball, Desi Arnaz.
yeah, Desi Arnaz. That was the
Yeah,
production
okay.
company.
Yep. Yeah, if we would never had her, we would never have had Star Trek.
Do you know that was like an accident? That was
It
one
kind
big
of-
accident.
it-
She
it
thought
was.
Lucy thought that Star Trek was going to be like almost like a road show with different actors and actresses. She had no fucking idea what Star Trek was.
Wow.
But I think she saved it from like a dumpster fire.
She did later. She did, but originally she thought it was some kind of like road show, like a reality TV show with actors and actresses.
Okay. I'll give you some.
Well, it turned out to be one of our favorite IPs.
Yes.
So if
Well,
you
Well,
want to stop,
absolutely.
The BBC has owned Doctor Who for 60 years now, or coming up on 60 years in just a few years. And they are just, I don't know. If you fall asleep watching an episode of Doctor Who, then there's a problem with the episode of Doctor Who. And I can't watch Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor without falling asleep.
Well, the problem is these assholes won't accept that they are wrong. They're in this phase of I'm always right. We are always right. We know what's best for you. You're just fans. We know what's best.
They
We know
went to
what's right.
Pickles University.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Pickles. I had to put it
We
there.
love you, Pickles.
But like
Welcome.
if you take my name, you just say they fluggered it all up.
And Sci-Fi, thank you, Sci-Fi guy, for correcting me. That is Desilu Productions. Yes.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
Desi
yes,
Lou.
yes.
Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. Yes.
Yes, thank you, sci-fi guy. Sometimes the details just don't stick.
You mean like the shit Pickles throws at the wall?
Your spaghetti's not done, flying spaghetti monster. Don't throw it against the wall yet.
He's muted. He's swearing at us.
He got mad at me yesterday for making fun of him throughout Short Circuit 2, so I'm sure he's still mad at me about that too.
Although the stream that we had last night on Pickles channel was really good when we were talking about starships. That was a hell of a stream. Lady Q was in there schooling us.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Londell was in there going, "Holy shit, you know way more than anybody else."
Lady Q is the shit.
I just happened to be singing karaoke all night last night, so
It was before karaoke, and I just had to bail out for a little bit because, my brain was on overload. So I went over to Doomstream, and then in 15 minutes, I was like, I got to go to bed.
there's too much going on YouTube right now. I just can't keep up with all of it. Doggone it.
Well, no, you got to be up 24 hours a day to even then you can't watch everything.
One of the problems with Insomniac Soup is that I literally am up all night.
You fuckers ever sleep?
Oh, my daughter starts school tomorrow morning, and I still got to host Insomniac Soup tonight.
hey, buddy.
Not tonight.
Yeah, no, not tonight.
Oh, not tonight. No, it's Admiral.
Yeah,
Admiral
it's Doom's night tonight.
Yeah.
Thank gosh. Thank God.
Whew.
Just playing with you too, there, CCDV.
I get to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning with my daughter. Get on that computer, girl.
You got some homeschooling to do there, girl.
I can't wait
All right.
till classroom school starts up. It should be in about 2 weeks here, and the kids don't have to wear masks in the classroom if they don't want to. I'll still send her with a mask to school, but
You ever watch Naked Gun?
I've never
When they-
watched Naked Gun.
The
Really?
one
I hate
Naked Gun where they were
Nielsen.
full body condoms. That's what it's going to come down to.
It's
Full body
certainly
condoms.
that way.
No, you just need some spray like Cockguard 9000. You're all good.
It certainly seems that way. I go to the grocery store now. I'm like, these people are all wearing long sleeve shirts and masks and goggles. Some
the
people
cool-
are wearing goggles. I'm not joking.
Did you ever see a movie called The General's Daughter?
Oh, I like
Sounds
that.
familiar.
John Travolta makes a comment in that. He says, nowadays you're going to have to boil people before you sleep with them. He wasn't fucking wrong.
He wasn't wrong.
Oh, we just come out with some crazy virtual reality where we can just have sex with people remotely.
No, I ain't doing that. No, that's like fucking, what's that movie with Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
When he's in the future.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, Demolition. Wait,
Demolition
wasn't it-
Man.
Demolition Man.
Yeah, no.
All restaurants are Taco Bell.
The funky monkey. No, fuck all that.
He doesn't know the shells.
He doesn't know the show. He doesn't know
The
about the
Greasy Show.
Epic Beard says that Lady Q impressed him. Mr. Lundell says to say Lady Q is an expert on Federation starships is an understatement.
Understatement. Guys,
That's
whoever caught us last night on the waiting room, Lady Q tore up the floor. We tore it up last night on Star Trek. It was very interesting. Lady Q is an encyclopedia knowledge of freaking Star Trek. Oh my God, was it great?
Oh my goodness.
That stream was friggin' epic.
Yeah, it was.
I have a dear Mr. CCDV. Holy cow.
Sweet. And hello, Cinnamony.
goodness. I have to save these pictures in order to show them, so I'm not going to. But if you go on to Jedi Bill's channel on his Discord and you go into Dear Mr. CCDV, you can actually see the picture. It says body condoms. Well, this is close. Laugh my ass off. That's a pretty good picture. I'm not going to save it just so I can show it, though. Sorry. The Dear Mr.
Does that mean you're gonna?
is supposed to be just comments, but that picture is funny. So I will redirect you all to Jedi Bill's Discord channel and go into Dear Mr. CCDV and look at the picture. That's pretty darn funny. That is what it seems to be coming down to these days. I may get myself a body condom just to go to the grocery store next time, just because it's funny. Did I lose everybody, or are you just trying to find Jedi Bill's Discord channel?
So I'm still waiting to see people wearing a 6-foot hula hoop around them, walking around.
Oh, dude, they had a bar or a restaurant somewhere close by here, I think, where they had fucking inner tubes. You had to be in an inner tube, this inner tube table. It was a table with a fucking inner tube around it, and that's how you walked into the restaurant and walked to your table. You had to be in this fucking thing, this rolling table with an inner tube around it, and that kept you at the appropriate distance so you didn't get near.
Are you talking? Are you talking about? Are you talking about like what you get your baby, where like they get in the middle of it and they have this table and with the wheels walking?
Yep.
Oh my god!
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my
That's how
god!
they got people in and out of the fucking restaurant. I shit you not.
Did it have a built-in seat? Like did it have like a built-in seat?
No, no, the little cloth hopper seat. No, no, but I'm not shitting you, dude.
It's got to be a joke. Come on.
It's not, dude. Listen, I live in a tourist trap, dude. There's nothing but restaurants all fucking around me. You can get anything here, anything you want to eat, you can get it fucking here. And that's how they were wheeling people into the fucking restaurant. Was in these
Did they have little shapes hung to springs so you can like put little toys you can play with? Oh,
I want to comment on
ridiculous.
Mark's comment there. He tried to argue with her, but she beat him down so hard.
Who, Lady Q?
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about? I did not. She was on my side. I didn't argue with her one bit. What?
You always argue with everybody.
Rewatch the stream. No, hell no. Sorry, false.
Stream. Good God.
I did not argue with Lady Q. She was on my effing side.
Dude, there's something.
You're laughing. You're laughing. Okay, there we go. Confirmation. Thank you.
And it's funny enough, Lady Q, Lady Gravemaster is the same way. She will beat the tar out of you while she is laughing and wipe you off her boot when she's done. I know you might get off on that, but
LDG, you've got some comments in Dear LDG Pixels.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll pass. I'll pass. I only respond to comments not made out of malicious intent.
I don't think it was malicious intent. I'm
pretty sure.
I know a lot of you guys. You don't like Lower Decks. I like Lower Decks. So
I love Training Wheel Star Trek.
No,
I love Training Wheel Star Trek.
Over it if you want to, but I like Lower Decks.
Like I said, they even named the class ship is called the California ship. Just like sushi has a California roll. It's not real sushi. It's only for those who were just if you never had sushi before, you have a California roll. That's like your training wheel sushi. And they even called the ship a California class.
Remember, I've been a Trekkie since I was born. I mean, I've been watching Star Trek since the 70s. I mean, so I've watched everything. Star Trek, the original series, Star Trek Next Generation, and I swear every Wednesday I would fly home from church just to get home to watch Star Trek Next Generation every Wednesday. And it was just fantastic. I loved it. DS9, my mom and I watched it together every week. Voyager, I didn't like. I did not like Voyager. Enterprise, and I've told you guys all this before. Season 4, I could not wait to get home from Iraq so that I could watch season 4 of Enterprise.
It was the best season.
I loved it. I absolutely loved Enterprise.
Will you guys stop talking about season 4 Enterprise? God damn it!
So
that's a sore subject over here.
So I watched Discovery. I was like, what the hell is this?
4
I would have
episodes.
put that in more certain terms, but yeah.
4 episodes. I got through the season of Picard because of Dave Bob, but 4 episodes of STD, and I stopped. That's why I won't review it. I won't fucking review it. I can't watch it.
Watching Picard was torture. Watching Picard was torture.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
That was not my Picard, I tell you. That was just some old guy. Oh,
and Jedi, I will. I'm sorry. I thought you said I had other comments. Okay, I read that. Yeah, I'll be in the Insomniac soup about lower dicks or shit. Oh, Matt, lower decks. Yeah, I'm with you, boss. I'll be there.
I'll
be there.
One thing, Mr. CCDV, we took the Cerritos apart last night
Yes.
and
We
tried
tore it
to
up.
figure that we tore that ship down. And if you go in there and if you can find just that part, and
It's
that was
easy.
probably an hour, wasn't it?
Yes, more than an hour. Just fast forward till you see the scenes because I pulled up the movie. We zoomed in 400%. We tore up Lower Decks yesterday on my stream.
It's not hard to
was
do.
friggin'
Lower Decks is a
amazing what
fucking
Lady
giant
Q
dumpster
threw
fire.
in there for her intuition on what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, we took things that no other channel was talking about Lower Decks, and we took it to the next level.
Well, honestly, and this is my opinion, Lower Decks should have been about the enlisted personnel, not the officers. So you had ensigns in the Lower Decks, and honestly, I think it should have been about spacemen. I really do. Spacemen, first class, second class, etc., whatever the case may be. Petty officers.
You're
you know,
talking about
things
like
that.
O'Brien.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
Chief
like the only-
O'Brien, and you got petty officers, you got spacemen, that kind of thing. I really think that it would have been better if they had all been ranked as lower enlisted personnel in Lower Decks.
No, we were making fun of it, especially the transporter scene where they had a red shirt as a transporter chief. A red shirt as a transporter chief.
And he didn't move.
And he didn't even move.
Yeah, it's a static photo.
Yeah. No hands going up and down or hitting the button or not, just literally frozen. A red shirt transporter chief.
And Mr.
Yeah.
Lundell's right too, right there.
Yeah. Mark.
We also found out-
it says the thing about Lower Decks. If I want to watch Star Trek, I'll watch Star Trek. If I want to watch Lower Decks, I'll watch Rick and Morty.
Please, God, stop comparing Lower Decks with Rick and Morty, man. Why? Where is that coming from?
That's coming from CBS because
Oh
CBS
my
made it
God.
a campaign to compare it to Rick and Morty because they want the Rick and Morty fans watching it saying, look, we're just like Rick and Morty. That's why I said Star Trek is Star Trek and shouldn't try and be anything else but fucking Star Trek.
Yes, Rick and Morty is so much better than Lower Decks. It's a whole nother category, for God's sakes. They actually put thought into their jokes.
Well, the other problem is even Anti-Trekker said this. It really shouldn't be branded Star Trek Lower Decks. It should be just Lower Decks, but I know why they did. They just wanted to bring people in.
It's the same reason why they added Star Trek to the word Enterprise in season 3.
Yeah. Yep.
It wasn't Star Trek Enterprise. It was just Enterprise for the first 2 seasons.
Star Trek CBS has stated they want Star Trek to be the TV MCU. That's what they want. They want the same kind of shit going on in their stuff through different series that Marvel has with the movies.
Not to be too rude here, but how old are you, Stone Loki?
I am 40.
Okay. Do you remember in the 20s when they were not in the 20s, the 2000s?
I'm not that old. I'm not 140.
Sorry.
The 20s?
I'm blowing my top there.
Aren't we in the 20s right now?
But
These sailors and they're on leave, pipes and chains and swinging hands. Who's your daddy? Yes, I am.
well, what they were saying back in the flat 2000s is, well, they can't make any more Star Trek because Star Trek has gone to the watering hole too many times. And what's going to happen is it's just repeating again. They're trying to make way too many series out of way too little. Make one thing good.
Well, you know what? Someone told me months ago, maybe 3 or 4 months ago, you're doing great, Loki, because you're doing this naturally. You're not stealing subscribers. You're not buying subscribers. You're not doing any underhanded bullshit. You're bringing people in naturally. The TNG, and I'm just going to go off of TNG. I'm not even going to talk about the original series. TNG, DS9, Voyager all brought people in naturally.
3 or 4 months. Uh-oh, Mr. Lundell, I think you're echoing there.
I got rid of it.
All right, thank you, and welcome, Mr. Lundell.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, Chief.
What's up?
Great show last night. And
Well,
to you too.
well, that was just on the fly for me.
Hey, if that's on the fly, I can't wait till you actually do it prepared. Hell yeah. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
But anyway, continue, Loki. You were making some good points.
Thank you, sir. TNG, DS9, and Voyager brought people in naturally. Okay, the people that had a problem with it, the original fans, most of them, by the time Picard became Locutus, were really getting interested. But it brought in a huge fan base. It did. You can't do that when you're spitting in the face of everyone that loved it before. They were trying to win over the original fans and make sure, hey, no, we understand what you're saying, but this isn't them. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're trying to make a whole new fucking wheel. We're not trying to bring back. We're not rehashing. We're not going back in time. We're not retelling the story. We are making an entirely new story. And when it got interesting, people started loving it. DS9 is my favorite because of fucking Cisco, man. He started out as a commander, but he was a no-nonsense son of a bitch, and he took it to him when he was pissed.
Yeah, Cisco was a real military officer compared to
Cisco
Picard.
was a military officer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
They talk about how great, Picard was because he was this diplomat. Well, Cisco had those same skills. Only difference was don't piss Benjamin off.
Yeah,
He will show you what the Defiant can do.
That's right.
Make him mad.
He'd
You
tell
don't want
Worf.
to go there, but if you go there, he'll go there gladly.
Yeah,
Cisco's
and he'll
a
tell
nice
Worf,
guy.
hey,
Cisco's
Mr.
a
Worf.
nice guy, but don't make him mad.
He
Don't like
would
him
tell
when he's
Worf.
mad.
He would tell Worf, Mr. Worf, load a quantum torpedo and write, don't fuck with the Cisco on it.
Yeah.
I don't think Cisco was as good of a diplomat as Picard.
No,
I don't think he was.
Go back and look at some of the episodes where he was dealing with the Dominion. The way he would talk to a Jim Hadar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Wayoon too.
Episode Rocks and Shoals, when you had those two crews, they had crashed on the planet.
Yeah.
And Jim Hadar came and talked with him. He said, "You're a 2. I don't need to talk to you. Where's your number 1?"
Yeah.
He did that. That insulted that Jim Hadar. That put him in his place to let him know you're a little dog and you're dealing with a top dog.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's diplomacy.
I still
I would
contend that he's not as good of a diplomat, not as skilled as Picard.
Okay, there we go. You just used 2 acronyms. Okay, listen. Good as and different style, 2 different things. Now, I'm not going to judge Cisco's effectiveness. You said good at first, but okay, so we're changing the skill. That I agree. I agree that his style was different. His skill was different. Whether it was more effective or not, can't argue, because even Picard had his down days.
But to me, Picard was an old pussy.
Positive Candor has returned. Welcome back, Positive Candor.
If you remember correctly,
Welcome, Positive Candor.
that episode where Picard was first. I'm sorry. Hi, Positive Candor. How you doing?
I thought you were stopping.
I was going to stop.
He ruined it for him.
I do
He's
want to.
becoming like
I do want to
Deej.
bring to light the episode where Picard was up against the Native Americans. He had his face in his hand. He did not know how to handle that diplomatic situation. He was literally S out of luck, and he got out of that by the skin of his teeth.
And Wes Moody says that Captain Cisco blew up the Maquis planet.
He blew up more than
a
one.
couple.
He
Yeah.
blew up more than one.
He poisoned it. He poisoned
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
right.
because
They
they
didn't blow it
poisoned
up.
they poisoned a Cardassian planet, so he turned around and poisoned a Maquis planet, and the Maquis had to fucking evacuate right then and there. And he was like, you know what? I'm done. You guys want to pull this shit? I'll pull it right back on you, and we'll see who loses first.
Well, I think all the
Now, see-
Kardashian planets need to be poisoned. Sorry. No. Okay.
Into the
No. I was,
Kardashians, yes.
wrong IP. Sorry.
Now, see, to me, that's not being a diplomat.
No, I'm not a diplomat. I'm a soldier, for crying out loud.
No, I'm talking about Cisco. Cisco.
Good point, Mr. CC. Besides,
Yeah, there was nothing diplomatic about poisoning a planet. That was just, and he was mind. Okay, the reason why the one thing I didn't like about that episode was the same reason why I didn't like Janeway when she went all crazy against the Equinox, because when you break your Federation vow, all of a sudden that means you go nuts if you're a Captain Commander, and he just went beyond. He was blind with rage.
He didn't break anything.
He poisoned a planet.
Right, but he didn't kill anyone.
That
He gave
planet,
them plenty of time to leave.
and that
Yeah,
planet
no.
that planet was not officially recognized by the Federation or by the Cardassians. So technically, that planet was supposed to be uninhabited.
With all due respect, they didn't recognize the government, but the planet was recognized. There was life on that planet. And he gave them time, but you still fired the torpedoes knowing that nobody left. So you don't know. You can't know that if someone might have died. You didn't know until the end
They
whether or not someone died.
It
or not.
wasn't under the jurisdiction of the Federation. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
the Federation doesn't go to random planets and just not. Yeah, if there's life on planet, you're recognized. The Federation is all about that.
It was in the demilitarized zone. It was not under. It was not under the Federation or the Cardassians. That's what that's the problem with all the planets in the demilitarized zone. The Cardassians weren't supposed to assist them. The Federation wasn't supposed to assist them. They're not supposed to be officially recognized by either organization.
Yeah.
West Moody, you are
okay, recognized, and there was still life on the planet.
LDG. Stop. I'm talking now.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay.
Your floor.
Wes Moody, you are welcome to come on up and express your views. If you don't want to, you can just keep on chatting. That's cool. Okay, carry on. Flying Spaghetti Monster and Stone Loki.
Wes has a really good point. Wes has a very, very good point. He viewed Cisco as a rogue captain, and this is true. The Federation did want him off of Bajor, but they were stuck with him because the Bajorans worshipped him, and the Federation knew if they pulled Cisco off Bajor, they would be screwed, and the Bajorans would never, ever sign a treaty with the Federation. They knew that.
What do you mean by rogue captain?
They were stuck with him. He
Rogue
could do whatever.
was Captain Ransom,
And,
Yeah,
and the other
Ransom
part of
was
that,
a
Loki,
rogue captain. I mean,
and they're saying
I don't
that
get.
Because
Yeah.
of what you were saying earlier, LDG, just exactly what you were saying earlier, because he bombed those other planets or poisoned those planets. That's why
Yeah, that was
That
captain.
didn't
in
make
the
him
episode. I
that's not-
agree.
No, see,
That's
he
not
was-
what Wes is talking about. I don't think.
No,
the other part of that, Loki, is that the Federation wanted control of the wormhole.
Yes.
So they were not going to give up Bajor.
That's right. They were not going to give up Bajor.
Exactly.
Cisco was in line to become captain of the Saratoga. He was a inline officer. He was a yes man. And then his wife died, and the whole Borg shit happened. And he originally was working on the Defiant when they sent him to DS9.
Yeah.
So when he got to DS9, that's when all the shit happened, and he got back with Dax. And he started his whole identity started shifting, and he got more and more out of the Federation's control because he was out on the frontier. That was the whole point of his character, was he's out on the very edge of known space where the Bajorans are, and the Federation doesn't have quick, easy control over him. And the Bajorans worshipped him. He was he was like a prophet to them.
I think-
Actually, Cisco was the Federation's open door into that sector because
Yes.
he was the the prophets, what is it, emissary to the prophets.
Yes.
The Federation does not like that religious stuff, but they will use it when they need to, and that's what they were doing.
And that was the thing with the Bajorans is I think they didn't believe in Sisko to begin with, but when he flew through the wormhole, then the wormhole aliens, the prophets, picked him up and propped him up.
Yep. And
you're making an interesting point.
And when they puked him back, that's when the Bajorans started to believe him.
Yep, and it was the first 10 minutes. In the first 10 minutes of that original episode,
Yeah.
Kira treats him like dog shit. She's like, "Oh,
Right.
Mr.
Yeah.
Federation is here to save us." Oh,
She treated him like shit for a lot longer than the first episode, but yeah, that was classic on that first episode. I love that. Would you like your office back? Oh, I would like to say hello first before. Yeah, I just want my fucking office. But guys, remember, it had to be Sisko.
Yeah, it had.
You know why? Because it could be no one else. You remember that?
Sisko was a badass.
You guys no. I'm making a point.
Yeah,
The prophets already knew what was going to happen. It didn't matter who thought what, who did what. You had beings that could see beyond space and time, and they knew. It didn't matter who thought what admiral said what was recognized. None of that shit matters because you
they
had
created
gods.
Sisko in it. And
They didn't know
Mr.
what linear
Spaghetti,
time was.
I
They
think
didn't know what
Mr.
linear
Londell
time
needs
was.
the floor for a second.
They saw everything before it even happened.
Hold on. There's too many people talking. Pflugerville, what was your point?
I was just saying that I think Mr. Londell wants to speak.
All right, Mr. Londell, it's your turn. Go ahead.
No, not yet. I'm waiting for the spaghetti monster to say something, controversially stupid.
Whoa! He's ready. He's got his finger on the button.
I get it. He's waiting for the second shoe to go in the mouth.
It is 1 minute to midnight, Mr. Londell. I swear to you know what, Mr. Londell? I'm gonna buy you the nuclear clock, and I'm gonna send it to you so you can put it in your background next to your freaking bat'leth. I'm gonna buy you the nuclear clock.
Professor Brainy. Professor Brainy, you got a point?
Yeah, I agree with the spaghetti monster over
Oh
there.
my God. Oh yes, thank you. Another one. I love it when
It
that
had to
happens.
be Sisko because they created Sisko for that purpose.
Yeah,
Yes.
agreed.
They took
all
over
preordained.
the woman that married his father, and they had a child who was Sisko to be the emissary.
Yeah, they saw it all in advance. Everything they saw. It didn't matter.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. They had no concept of what linear time was. They told Sisko that. Sisko had to explain to them in that first episode about linear time because it's all mush to them. Everything's happening all at once. There is no A to B to C to D to D, and you die. There's just all of it at the same time. They had no concept of linear time.
And that proves his diplomatic skills because that was basically a first contact.
Yep.
Yeah, but they knew everything. They might have not known linear time, but they still knew everything that was happening.
No,
they had all that.
I want to
to
welcome Thomas Potts. I want to welcome Mary Game Room. Thank you for joining us this morning. I had no idea this was going to go for 3 hours, but I am enjoying myself, and the panel seems to be enjoying themselves as well. So, Stone Loki, if you want to go ahead and carry on with your point, please do.
Thank you. The LDG, they saw everything all at the same time. It's not that Sisko explained to them about linear time, but they can't experience linear time. They might have when they were of Bajor.
Right.
That is said multiple times that they are of Bajor. But
absolutely,
what they are now can't see in linear time. They can't because it's all flowing all at the same time. Everything is happening now, like in fucking Spaceballs. What's happening now is happening now. Well, the formal aliens, the problem
What about then?
it's all happening. There is no then because to them, then is now, and now is now, and the future is now, all at the same time.
And yesterday is now.
Exactly. So, like I said, it's all preordained. It had to be Cisco. It could be no one else. It didn't matter anything about anything.
Resolute Germ says it was him because the prophets arranged it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Resolute.
They even pulled the original emissary 300 years in the past for something that didn't even happen until DS9 happened. That one guy, that one
He
poet.
showed up on a Bajoran sailing ship. Yeah.
Yeah,
He came out of the wormhole in a Bajoran solar sailor.
that's how perfect.
I want to welcome Tiki to the chat, but I'm not sure that I agree with him on this.
I thought that was funny.
Styles from Star Trek 3.
Kill him, Terrell.
I don't know if I can go with that, but welcome, Tiki.
On an Oberth fucking science vessel that got one-shotted. Yeah. If you are involved in Star Trek, don't be on an Oberth class science vessel.
What is the problem with
No,
the Oberth?
actually, he was the captain on the Excelsior
Was he?
in Star Trek 3.
And who the hell was on the Oberth? No, you're right. You're right, because Styles is on the Excelsior. If you do this, you'll never sit in the captain's chair again. But who's the guy that got one-shotted?
That was
I'm looking that up right now. I can't think of his
Yeah, I
name.
can't remember his name either.
he died quick, so it probably doesn't even mean a thing if we can't remember his name.
No. Stand by for evasive. Bah! And then it was over.
Thank you, Mary's Game Room. And of course, every Saturday night, you're welcome to come on and sing because you have a fantastic voice.
Hello,
I love doing duets with you.
Captain Esteban.
Esteban. Yes. Hello, Mary's Game Room. Mary's got a it's not a GoFundMe. It's like a charity event running for kids, guys.
Oh no, Thomas Potts believes that the prophets are ascended beings.
No, really?
No.
Let's not mash up these
Yosef.
two franchises right now, okay?
Yosef's in the chat. He says Lorca is the second best after Giorgio, only because she's female and Asian.
Mashup this morning.
To clarify, actually, ascended beings are the prophets, not the other way around. DS9 came first.
It's just funny to say it's just funny to say IP mashup. All right, so we'll go with that.
And this is why I'm always saying Star Trek needs to be Star Trek and doesn't need to take shit from anyone else. True. Stargate borrowed a lot. I love Stargate. I love Stargate to death, but Stargate borrowed a lot from other shows. Star Trek should never have to do that. It should be good enough to stand on its own and live on its own and die on its own, not have to borrow shit from other IPs.
I mean, but they don't understand how, like you were talking earlier, how to develop a fan base. Thinking back on it, okay, when Next Gen first started, I had just gotten out of the Army, okay, and so had sister had a first child when I was in the Army. So then, like this 2-year-old niece that was getting to know me, and I liked Star Trek. She would spend a lot of time watching Star Trek with me, The Next Generation, and then she saw some of the original series and the movies, and growing up, she enjoyed. That's something the two of us shared. She's a fan now. Okay, 20 years later, grown woman, married, probably about to have some kids herself. Okay, see, that's what'll bring in the next fan base if she shows Trek to her children. And that's what they don't seem to understand. And something CCDV doesn't like I've said a couple of times, Trek is a thinking man's show. And you just don't develop, you just don't come out being a thinking person. The concepts there that you and your kids can sit down and talk about, and it gives them an understanding of some real life stuff. And and I've had people explain honor to their kids using Klingon from Next Generation and DS9. How especially like the way Nog confronted General Martok about loitering on DS9. Martok could smash him in a heartbeat.
Yep.
But because Nog stood up to him and quoted those rules, Martok followed it because he looked, at least Nog looked like he would try to back that rule up. And for Martok, that was evidently sufficient.
I love that, and I love when Cisco tells him that he's got to. Was it Cisco who told him you got to stand up to Klingons? You got to show your back. And Martok comes in and interrupts him, and Nog's like, "That's it," and Cisco's like, "Not now, Instant. Not now. Later."
He was gonna fight him too. It looked like he was gonna fight that guy, man.
He's like, "I know what I just told you, but not now."
Yeah, Nog, man. Nog, you know who could have taken a lesson from Nog? Wesley. And the ensign from Enterprise.
No, Wesley turned into a traveler. Wesley was just fine.
Shut up, Wesley.
Did he though? Because in Nemesis, he's in a uniform and he's got pips. So did he, or did he just go back to Starfleet? They never fucking explain that ever.
He showed back up in the movie with pips on. Yeah, tell me about it. That was stupid. But you know what? He was invited to the movie last minute. He wasn't actually written in. He wasn't in the original story of that. He was invited last minute.
And you never
Hello, V-Star. Thank you for joining us here.
You never once hear him talk. He has no lines. He just laughs, and you get like a quick half second of him sitting at a table with a uniform on.
Oh, I thought he did say something about I have a girlfriend and I have a date with a chick or something like that.
No, unless it's in the cut scenes.
I don't know.
I thought he said something.
They should have just left him as a traveler. They shouldn't have brought him back for the movie.
Well, I just don't like how when Wesley was in Star Trek, he looked like the kid that could be a altar boy, and then he ended up leaving with a person who sounded like he was a pedophile. I just thought that was weird.
Oh, you had to go there, didn't you?
And that traveler talked real weird. He talked real weird.
I always thought he looked like a Goonie.
Oh, no.
Y'all get that one, right? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never understood where the traveler being a pedophile even came from.
And neither did I until you listen to him speak.
Now, see, but it doesn't matter.
Somewhere, Joseph. There's a link.
It doesn't matter anyway, because when he decided
He needs to be nurtured.
He decided to go with the traveler. He was a grown man, so it wouldn't be pedophilia. It would be
okay. It was a joke. It was a joke. I didn't actually mean that. Yeah, I'm not trying to make connections in canon about that. Just was a joke.
Yeah, he had been through the academy before he left with the traveler. So it really is. It's just a joke, and we all know it. And I mean, it may have been in poor taste, but it was still
it's just how, because I always thought the traveler sounded weird when he talked. Oh no, like he just sounded weird. Okay, I mean,
That's called acting, okay?
You know what? It's okay if Yosef wants to be a troll. I'm okay with that. I like the future man's take on a lot of things.
Yeah, his take is just as valid as anybody else's.
So Pflugerville,
invalid,
what do you want to
as
talk
anybody
about
else's.
now, Pflugerville? Oh, Jedi Bill, are you still with us?
No shit. He's just sleeping.
Jedi Bill, did you fall asleep?
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about, Jedi Bill? We've been talking Trek for about an hour now, so.
Yep. I'm gonna go, guys. I'm gonna go grab some breakfast.
All right, Loki. We'll see you
Later.
later.
Don't
Thanks
forget
for
to eat us
dropping
too.
by.
Later, Loki.
So Jedi, use the litmus paper. What color shade is your leg now? Are we almost to a nice? Are we almost to a nice regular beigeish, tannish?
Tan. I gotta go. I actually should go get my meds.
You should.
I should go,
Actually, yes, please do.
I should go get my meds like right now.
Head on out to that Walgreens and get your meds, please.
CVS. I gotta go to
Oh,
CVS.
CVS. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Later.
All right, Jedi Bill.
Later,
We'll see you
Jedi.
later, brother.
Take care, bud.
Well, all right. Positive candor. What do you want to talk about? I skipped Professor Brainy.
What's that?
I skipped Professor Brainy. I asked Positive Candor what he wanted to talk about.
Oh, well, he's new up here, so if he wants to talk about something.
How about military stuff?
Oh, I could talk military all day long.
A little bit.
I'm afraid
Mr.
I'd be out of my
Londell knows
league.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You want me to tell some stories? I could tell some stories. I'll tell a story and then I'll let Mr. Londell tell a story. How's
Then
that?
I'll tell a story. Okay.
Okay,
Then I'll-
right on.
But before you do that,
Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Shut up, Wesley.
Wesley.
and there's from the second season, Guinan tells Wesley, "Shut up, kid."
Yeah. Yeah. That's when Riker was saying a poem to her.
Yeah.
Riker was trying to show Wesley how to talk to women.
Yep. Shut up, kid.
Yeah, and it was kind of a huge fail because Wesley had deaf ears.
Well,
But
most teenage
Yeah.
boys do.
Yeah.
go ahead, Positive Candor.
Yeah, Positive Candor. Go ahead and tell your story first, please.
Okay. Well, like I said, one time we had to clamshell some dudes who had gotten drunk too much. And if you don't know what clamshell means, that you get two Stokes stretchers, and Stokes stretchers are the ones that have the wire mesh kind of on them and stuff like that, basically. So yeah, you basically you knock them down with some Haldol first. If you're a belligerent, drunk type person.
Yeah.
So you know, and this is what they do even to your people in the psych ward too. Obviously, you knock them down with some Haldol because that is probably the most effective, and it's one thing that you always have on the ship anyway. And it's not a controlled substance, but you could obviously knock them down with a controlled substance as well, like your Valium or something like that. But usually the drug to go to is your Haldol first. But so yeah, we had to knock down, a drunk person. This was in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And, you know, people do stupid things on liberty, you know, from, you know, like peeing on statues and then get locked up and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is probably the most famous or infamous one. So, and then, yeah, and then, you know, you basically got to leave them behind because they've, you know, broken a law, you know. And obviously it takes the court system a while to get them back out of there. And then once they do, then, you know, they're obviously kicked out of the military, basically. Normally,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
You silly sailors, always doing some weird stuff.
I'm sure that, you know, we're not the only ones who do this kind of thing on liberty.
Oh no, no, you're definitely not the only ones.
Yeah.
So the ones that get caught get kicked out of the military, and the ones that don't stick.
Well, there's certain things you can get away with.
Yeah, it
and
depends.
certain things that can't. I mean, if you really get in trouble, though, doing something considered illegal in another country, then, and especially if you're locked up, then more than likely you're not going to survive that kind of episode, you know?
Yeah, especially if the ship has a schedule to keep, they have to sail.
Because
right?
you're only in port, because you're only in port for, usually it was like maybe 5-6 days, maybe up to a week tops, but definitely no longer than a week.
Yeah, so if the ship has to sail and you're stuck
So-
behind in a jail cell or something like that, then yeah, you're screwed, and
Yeah.
that's the end of your career.
No diplomatic immunity or nothing like that happens.
No such thing. No such thing.
Diplomatic immunity? Are you kidding, man? Sailors are not diplomats.
Number one, a sailor is an easy target for these people anyway to go after. And that's why they instituted, you know, basically going out in groups of 3 or even more, is so that if one person screws up, basically then it's kind of like you're all responsible type of thing for each other.
Right,
So
yeah.
one
The
person
battle
screws
buddy
up-
system. Yeah.
Yeah, so if one person screws up, then everybody's going to get hammered for it. Obviously, the one person who's locked up is hammered the worst, but the other 2 or 3, whoever's in the party, will also suffer the consequences, you know. So, yeah, it's just, you know, something that, you know, that when you think about it, yeah, it makes sense. And obviously they want people now, because it used to be where you could just go out by yourself way back when. And then basically once, you know, the terrorist stuff started kicking up, that's when they instituted the buddy system for going out on liberty, basically. Because after 9/11, it definitely was that policy where you couldn't go out by yourself anymore.
So that became the branch-wide policy, because I know after the Cole incident in the early 90s, they had that policy instituted.
Yeah, but it wasn't universally, because, you know, usually the officers were mostly exempt from that policy. It was mainly an enlisted policy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So the officers could, and for the most part, I think eventually they did make it where it had to be at least 2 officers going out at a time. So even they couldn't go out by themselves anymore. But, you know, obviously rank has its privileges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of the Cole incident and of course 9/11,
Right.
really cemented it. Yeah, nowadays liberty is not a thing that you ever want somebody to be out in a foreign country by themselves doing. Because yeah, number one, you're always going to be a target anyway, because all these places know that you're coming in, and they know most likely where you're going, which is, your bar kind of situation.
Uh-huh.
And so, they purposely,
Well, I understand that they target sailors in port bars and things like that. Is that correct?
yeah, they purposely target people to try to get them to do something. And of course, they jack up the prices before you get there.
No, of course.
Because they want to make as much money as possible off of us greedy Americans, And, but yeah, so yeah.
Well, the army I grew up in was very, very puritanical. Even when I went to Bosnia, we weren't allowed to have beer. Even in Bosnia. So it's something that I relate with the sailors who have, liberty and shore leave and things like that. So I relate with them. I understand where the sailors are coming from, but in the army I grew up in, we weren't allowed to do any of that at all, ever.
Oh, damn, that stunted your growth.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Mr. Londell, you've probably got some stories.
Well, I don't think I should tell them. The guys, none of them are active anymore. They're probably all retired, but there's security clearances that I have to be concerned with. Maybe. I don't know, but well, I can tell you this: the briefing. That was mid-'80s when I was in. When you get to Germany, the briefing, they tell you about the culture and everything.
And they were still on the Deutschmark then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Polizei tells you to do something, do it. Okay,
you don't mess with Polizei in Germany.
Don't hesitate. Just do it. Okay. And the thing about Germany, beer tents are everywhere. And when I was in there, okay, that was like an 8-to-5 job. If you didn't have CQ duty or duty driver, after the flag goes down, you can go out for a little bit. And so, beer tent, here we come.
And just to clarify, CQ is charge of quarters. So
Yeah.
that's a 24-hour duty where you are in charge of making sure the barracks is not going nuts.
Even though it goes nuts.
It
around.
goes nuts every time, yes. But you're
Actually-
in charge of making sure that it doesn't. And CQs are notoriously bad at that job.
Because I was, I was like, just shut up and go to bed, okay? You're drunk. That's all I would do.
Has there ever been oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just curious about this topic. Has there ever been an episode where you were out on leave and the police of that particular area was chasing you and you made it back to your ship before they caught you? And if that did happen,
that's a question for Positive Candor. In the army bases, you were not exempt from being arrested, even if you made it back on post.
Yeah. Okay. Evidently, a lot of crap happened before I ended up going over to Germany. So yeah, Polizei could. All they had to do was go to the provost marshal. Provost marshal would go get you, and you're going to jail. So,
Yep.
So they would give you that speech about your ambassadors and all that, but they tell you, you get in trouble, chances are we might not be able to help you.
I honestly don't know if the Navy is different in that case. So, Positive Candor, can you answer that question?
It depends on where you're at, really.
if we actually care about the place we're at, you mean like respect their government?
Well, No, I mean, some governments are more strict than others.
You're supposed to do that anyway. It's respect those the laws of that country.
Yeah, that's part of the military code of UCMJ, Unified or
Uniform code.
Uniform Code of Military Justice. Thank you.
And
I've been out
what
longer than
stops,
you now. Come on.
what stops the corruption? You're telling me there hasn't been a corrupted arrest where someone got arrested because of bullshit and they didn't do anything at all and they still got arrested?
That happens a lot.
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
That's why you
So
go
their
out.
life gets ruined and
That's why you go out with
for nothing?
Well, is it justified or not? That's the question. And most countries that we are in are democracies. So you're going to have a jury type of system. So you're not going to be unjustly persecuted or prosecuted. There are some countries that we're in where you would be unjustly prosecuted, but in that case, it's generally taken care of through the military system. So you'd be under the UCMJ anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What about if you were arrested while on duty? Like you're doing what you're ordered, and the order that you're doing is what got you arrested.
Yeah, you
Well,
can be thrown in the break.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that. So
Yeah, it's happened before.
I'm assuming you're talking about the host country arresting you rather than the military police.
No. You're on duty. You're not on leave and on free time, and you do something stupid, get drunk, and punch somebody or something. I'm talking about you're on duty, and what you did. An officer of that nation decided to arrest you, but you're on duty. You're not on leave or anything like that, and you're doing your order, and your order is what caused you to. Like, would the Navy would your people step in then? Like, what's the? Is there any special?
No, you would be punished under the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
But you were following orders.
Well, officers are not supposed to give orders like that, and if you're drunk while you're executing your orders, then you get punished for that.
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm being misunderstood. If your order is to do something that is specifically got you arrested in the nation, I don't know if I'm saying this right.
That's what you're trying to describe is an illegal order, and you know an illegal order, or at least you should when you hear it. First thing you do is, could you clarify that, sir or sergeant? And then it's a rigmarole you can go through. So it finally ends up with sir or sergeant.
I need to say, if someone orders you to do a code red, do you do it?
Yeah, well, I mean, for instance, okay, so we were on the rifle range one time, and I was on the fire team, and we had little buckets of water, and we could spray the water on the fire and put the fire out. Well, an officer gave us an order to go downrange and put a fire out, but the range was still live, so people were still firing their weapons downrange, and we said, "No, sir."
Yeah.
So it's not like
was he drunk?
We're not all automatons in the military, I mean, we have brains and we use them.
Most civilians think we're automatons. That's why I will always hate the movie Starship Troopers, because I mean they just all these guys in uniform and gals, they're just brutes. That's what it looked like.
It did look that way. I enjoyed the movie. Of course, the book I prefer, naturally.
Yeah, I mean, because looking back on the time I was in the military, that's the first time I really learned discipline, how to discipline myself. And didn't see that in the movie, and better. That's
That's true. Yeah, that's why I like the book so much better. It's so much more realistic.
Yeah, you actually see the character grow, and you understand.
And mind you, Robert Heinlein was a graduate of the Annapolis. So
yeah, and a lot of his stuff is so heavily right-wing politically based anyway.
Vile Mike wants to know how long this stream is going to go. Well, it was going to go for 2.5 hours earlier, and I was going to end it. But we've just been having fun talking. Vile Mike has his own stream to do, so if you want to go ahead and fire up your stream, Vile Mike, we'll all head over there and hang out with you. But I really intended for this only to be an hour long.
That was funny. I am going to end the stream right now, and then all of a sudden, how many people come up on the panel? It was funny.
Seems to happen every Sunday morning. I don't understand it.
It is what it is.
Well, I get to do my Bible study, and then we all get to chit chat for a while. I love it.
It is what it is.
Well, anyway, your turn, your story.
Oh, I got to tell a story. Okay. So there I was. No shit. They all got to start out that way.
Yeah.
We went into Iraq at the end of March of 2003, and that convoy lasted 4 days straight. So we were awake for 4 days straight, basically, driving the fuel trucks and fuel equipment into Iraq. So we got to our first objective Ram, beginning of April of that year. We had one of those great big sandstorms that blacked out the entire sky, and it was just a crazy time, everything all considered. But by the time we had settled in, we got the tents put up, and we managed to get the fuel system set up. And mind you, it was only like a 500,000 gallon fuel system. So it wasn't really that big of a system that we set up initially.
Only 500,000 gallons.
It really wasn't that big of a system. But so I'd been up for 4 days straight, and my squad had been up for 4 days straight, and we were tasked as the first squad to be on duty for the fuel system. So the sandstorm was still going on by the time we got everything set up. And so my squad and we all sat down on the berm, because you build up these 6-foot berms around the fuel bags. So if the fuel bag springs a leak, it doesn't drain out all over the ground. It's contained inside this berm. So we all laid down on the berm, and we were waiting for the fuel trucks to come in to fill the bags. But since it had been a great big huge sandstorm the entire day while we were building the system, we all had our gas masks on. And of course, at that time, we didn't know if there was chemical warfare going on. So we were all wearing our nuclear biological chemical suits.
MOP 4.
Yeah, MOP 4. We were in MOP 3 while we were driving, but because the sandstorm came up so quickly and it was nasty, we were in MOP 4 because, well, that's how you breathed. You can't breathe the dust, so you put the mask on and you go, okay, now I can breathe. Which is ironic because breathing through a mask is really hard. But we sat down on the berm and we started chit-chatting, and one by one we all fell asleep.
Oh, damn.
And the fuel trucks never came in that night. They were supposed to, but they never did. So we never got our fuel delivery. But we woke up in the morning when the sun came out. And you see the movies like Dune where, the Fremen, they throw off their robe and all the sand goes flying and they stand up and they're ready to fight.
Yeah.
Or the Mummy where people sit up and the sand starts cascading off of their bodies. That was us. We literally sat up and all the sand came cascading down off of our bodies.
Damn.
I mean, we were literally buried in sand on that the berm, waiting for the fuel trucks to come in.
I almost experienced that at the National Training Center a couple times.
Oh, I lived at NTC for 3 years. Heck.
Every 3 months from Fort Hood, there we went. National Training Center. Yep.
Fort Hood is one of the largest training bases, and you still went to NTC.
Okay, at the time, you had 1st Cav and 2nd Armored Division there. And we were supposed to be like a spearhead.
Right.
So every brigade, we rotated. See, and I was air defense radar operator. So my radar crew and another, and some Stingers and Chaparral platoon and a couple of platoons, they would all rotate.
For those of you out there still listening, still in the chat, the National Training Center, NTC.
Fort Irwin, California.
Fort Irwin, California. That's in the Mojave Desert.
Yes.
And it is the desert. It is the premier training facility for all of the U.S. military throughout the world. It is the premier training center.
Yeah.
And so we get in the 80s, it was less so. It was mostly just U.S. military forces. But now we get people from all over the world. Well, I'm not active duty anymore. But right now, NTC, the National Training Center, is for multinational forces to go and train.
Well, all I know, it was hell on me. It was hell on the equipment. So, you come back, you're coughing up and shitting sand for a week.
Imagine living there for 3 years.
No, I don't see how the Op4s made it.
Op4s are badasses. That's how they made it.
Yeah, but supposedly now, the last time I rotated there, but I mean, hell, I got the medal. I got a medal for it. We had the largest number of air kills.
Oh, nice.
That anybody had up to that time.
Right on. Good job, man.
But I think what happened was, the reason that happened, a couple of times, the Op4s sent everything they had flying, and we shot it down, but they were marking where we were. And then before we knew it, here they came. So yeah, we shot down all the aircraft, but they knew where every tank, APC, and and TOC was, and they hit them in a couple days. So
yeah, that's cheating.
They did it. So all I know is one day, I sitting in that radar, I marked God knows how many hinds, how many fox bats or whatever it was flying. And next thing I know, all the company commanders from Fort Hood were coming down, congratulating us. Here comes the battalion commander, made a trip down there one day, and we're like, what the hell happened? We shot down everything they flew for the last 3 days. I'm like, cool. can I go home now? Is the fake war over?
Now, shooting down a hind is very impressive.
Yeah,
Very
well,
impressive.
well, you shoot it where it bites. You hit those cards on it, and it'll come down.
And for those of you out in the chat, those of you who are listening, a hind is a Russian variant of a helicopter. Basically, a tank with rotors on it.
Yeah, it's a big,
And they are very hard to shoot down.
I've seen the real Magilla, and I don't even think you could shoot it down. But supposedly Afghanis could take them out. So
Well, I mean, you could take out anything with the right equipment, but
yeah, and we did send them a lot of stingers. So.
yeah. Well, folks, I'm going to go ahead and wind this up. And if you want to keep on chatting, head over to Vile Mike.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's going to start streaming pretty soon. So I'm going to wind this up. It's gone, 2.5 hours longer than I intended it to, but I've been having fun.
Yeah. It's fun just to hear you guys talk,
Mr. Londell, thank you for joining us. Pflugerville, Jeff
Peace.
Franklin, Professor Brainy, the Flying Spaghetti Monster, LDG Pickles, Thomas Potts, and Joseph Petrick. And we've had so many other people in here. V-Star, thank you
Deej.
for dropping by. Deej was in here for a while. Holy cow. And Loki was here. Too many people to name, but thank you all for joining us. I really had a great time this morning, and I hope that you can all join me again next week. We'll probably end up doing the same doggone thing.
Been fun. Sergeant First Class.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Londell. I'm
Shut up,
going
Wesley.
to change my avatar back to the proper thing and then probably head on over to Vile Mike. So I will see you guys later.
All right.
Later.
Thank you, Mr. CC.